Hey everyone, Mark D with the C here. Welcome to another edition of Sunday Night Geekery. Glad that you guys could all make it. And so we've got two awesome guests here. We've got Maddie's daddy and Clobberin Times, and Clobberin Times now has as official StreamYard co-host controls, so he can kick me out or do all kinds of fun stuff. We're just playing with
I
it
just
today.
bounced him right there.
Yeah.
What's up, dude?
You can unmute and mute, and you could play clips like this all night, and I couldn't. So you could just play that over and over and over. So
I would never.
You'd never do that, right? But hey, all to everyone. Want to say hi to the crowd. We've got Sort of Poopus Cuber, and I'm not gonna even attempt the Raquel snort, but thank you for being
Snorty.
here. The lovely Sherry is here.
Sherry, love you, Sherry.
Captain James D. Skywalker. Hail, Captain. And I'm sure we'll have a lot of other great people rolling in, but thank you for being here tonight. Yeah, no, if you miss, if you want to highlight a comment, Steve, you don't have the power. I'm sorry, I have the free version, so I can only add one person.
I have the pay version, and I can only do one, I guess, right?
Yeah, the pay version can do. Yeah, pay version's one. Yeah, you got to pay for additional co-hosts. So, yeah, I'm cheap. Yeah,
that's fine.
That's what I'm saying. I have the pay version, and I can't do it either, other than one. Sorry,
other than one. Yeah.
Good, Steve.
No, that's. I just said Clubby's got the experience anyway, and the power.
I am proof positive the experience doesn't do you much good at all.
Right. Oh, I got the old back. I got to get this is the show 20. There we go. So I figured tonight we'll do like a mini year in review, talk about some of the good stuff from the year, and what we liked, and more of what we liked and not so much what we didn't like. So that means that we don't need to talk about a turtles too much. But everyone's saying I guess everyone enjoys too talking about the good stuff. So tonight I went back
with the turtles. I love the turtles.
The turtles, yeah.
Eternals.
Eternals.
So happy
Eternals.
Together.
Yeah.
That's funny.
That
old singing group, they were called the Turtles, but I mean, to me, they sounded like sheep. I mean, ba 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 ba.
Yeah, I like them. I'm sorry, that was a good song there. But of course, he means the Eternals.
Ah.
Yeah,
JP.
Yep.
JP, what's up, John?
JP, what's up? Happy New Year. Glad you're here. But so I went to see Spidey Man again tonight, and the wife, the normie wife, wanted to go. Of course, she's not a normie to me; she's the best ever. But she wanted to go see Eternals. And
boom! Mark's wife, we called you a normie.
A normie, yeah.
She probably takes that as a compliment.
Yes.
Yeah, she would take that as a compliment.
Normies do.
Yep. So I wanted to go see Spider-Man No Way Home, and my daughter was away, came back home, and she wanted to see it, and my other son. So we all went tonight again, and my other son Eric had seen it before, so we're like no spoilers during the movie. But I mean, the crowd was packed. I mean, for a Sunday, which show did we go to? Like 3:45 show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the theater was like 80% full. And this is with the vid going nuts, and people more. You have to wear your superhero covering now. Can't reveal your secret identity in the theater. So unless you're eating popcorn. So
popcorn.
Hey, Captain Spock is here. Captain Spock.
Moloko, is that how you say it, Spock?
I think so, right? Yeah.
Why is he calling me Poopy Steve? Is that because I changed diapers?
Stevie.
Probably changing diapers, yeah, I think.
No, I guess. Have you mentioned changing diapers lately?
No, but I mean, everybody knows Maddie's 1.5.
Okay. So. Fair enough.
Do you have one of those diaper crusher tube things or whatever they?
First of all, we don't say crusher on this channel. I'm sorry. I was told that by the second in command.
Compactor. Yeah.
No, I do not. But
Because I've heard of some bad accidents with those.
I start her off at night in my bed because if I put her in her crib, she'll just cry.
Yeah.
And tonight, let me back up. A few days ago, I was making her bottle, and I'd put her in the bed. She comes walking in the kitchen. I'm like, oh my God, she can get out of the bed now. So one of the few words that she knows is bye. So she was sliding off to the edge of the bed and said,
Bye-bye.
bye, Dad. Bye, Dad. Yeah, dropped off, started running around, grabbed my wallet, and was laughing like a crazy, crazy baby. I've got his wallet.
Guess what I'm buying now? Action figures.
Courtney's here.
Yeah,
Hello, Courtney.
Hey,
Happy New Year, Courtney.
Hello, Courtney.
Welcome. Hope
All
you're
the cool
having
people are showing up tonight. This is awesome.
Good holiday. Yep.
Yeah.
Courtney and Snort and Captain James T. Skywalker and of course the lovely Sherry and the Scotsman with the most. I don't want to tell you who that is, because you guys already know. And maybe you don't.
Good times. Yep.
Stuart Mitchell, yes, the great,
Yep.
the great legendary.
Is he here? I don't see
He
him.
is. Scroll up at the top.
Ah, well, Dolly wore
Stuart was
braces,
there.
buddy.
Yep. I gotta grab
Stuart
that
is here.
picture too. Yeah, we're gonna have that picture whenever Stuart shows up. Yep. But so the movie tonight was mostly packed. I would say people still cheering. People love this movie. So for how long has it been open? 2 weeks now or 3 weeks?
At least 3.5, 3 weeks.
3
weeks.
I mean, it's got legs. I mean,
Yeah.
That's
when
you
busted $1 billion, and it's only in 12 days it did that. I mean, worldwide. So
without China,
it's gonna hit. It's gonna without China, right? It's gonna hit 2. It's gonna hit 2. I think it might
awesome.
might break 2.
Yeah. No, it was
a good movie. I mean, it's I think one of the things that when we talk about like the sort of first wave of Marvel movies like Iron Man, the first Captain America, etc., was they may not be precisely accurate to the comics. For example, you couldn't have Iron Man, being in the Vietnam War, because now he'd be 75. That's a pretty old Iron Man. But then you can't have these days. There's no way you could do Bucky as a child because people would be screaming about child endangerment, as they probably should.
Or Robin.
Yeah.
Or Robin. Yeah, exactly. However, they definitely have stayed true to the spirit of the thing, and I think in Spider-Man: Far From Home, they're sort of getting back to that spirit, to where he's a loner again, and that's I think that was always the idea behind Spider-Man was he doesn't have the powers of a god.
No, he's proper Spidey now.
He's not a billionaire. Yeah, I mean he has trouble making his rent, and he's short.
And he's back to his original costume. Thank God, the first and the best costume.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah. I'm glad
that scene.
I hope they have him out of the Stark costume, because the whole Stark thing kind of takes away his whole.
Well, you saw the last scene.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
Here's my Spidey mug.
And I'm trying not to spoil it.
I know, but it's 3 weeks. Everyone knows.
Yeah, you can tell.
But no, you're right.
I think it's, but I think this is
I hope they put him in his electric company costume.
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Where are you coming from, Spider-Man?
There's Stark.
Yep, he's here. Yep. Hail. But so it was. I mean, there are little nitpicks. But like my wife was like, "You said there was some things you didn't like about it." I'm like, "Well, I thought Doctor Strange. Not to rehash the nitpicks, I guess, too much, but like Doctor Strange is kind of like a jerk in the beginning, but in the end, you could see how much it affected him by having to erase, Peter Parker from existence.
He was pretty irresponsible too, but yeah.
Yeah, and the spells and that kind of thing. But that's more of a geek nitpick, I guess, or a movie critic.
So she liked it then.
She loved it. Yeah, my daughter loved. Everyone loved it, except she's like, "Well, I didn't watch the other movies." And I'm like, wait. I don't know if you want to watch, Amazing Spider-Man 3. It's like, because the characters.
There is no 3.
2. Yeah, 2. Thank you. Yeah, my brain. We were talking about hail, Eric K. Welcome.
No, it's messing with Eric K. I just figured, you might want to. I thought you may have. We're saying Spider-Man 3, but accidentally said Amazing Spider-Man 3. But
Well, all
both are terrible.
Both are terrible. Both, yeah. But they're talking about now making an ASM, 3 with Garfield, but I don't think they could do a good job with that. But
I mean, we have to be honest about something. He really kind of, Toby is just far more popular than Andrew because Andrew had two lesser quality films, but Andrew is likable enough. But I'm sorry, less.
But the actor's real likable. Yeah, I was like, she's like, I don't remember seeing him before. Like, yeah, because you didn't go see the, Amazing Spider-Man movies. So,
well, Garfield wanted to turn Peter Parker into something he wasn't. He was railing for Spider-Man to have bisexual relationships,
right?
And that's not who he is. I mean, if you want to do that to a character has that in his, but Peter Parker was, the whole point of him was he's the average guy who got powers. He's Mark D. Well, he's not Mark D because he's married to a woman that puts up with all of his toy
stuff. Yeah, that's her superpower.
He's me with superpowers. And let's face it. I mean, if I got superpowers, you guys will all be doing my laundry, washing my car, But Spider-Man learned to do what's right, So, and I think I've said this before. The reason why Captain America is my favorite hero, looking over your shoulder there, is that he didn't need to have his uncle die, or his parents die, or his planet be destroyed, or his father. If we go on to Daredevil, he did the right thing just because it was the right thing to do. Oh, Courtney's leaving.
Yeah, Courtney's got to jump in and out. She said she might stop back later. But thank you.
Thank you, Courtney,
for stopping by.
It won't be the same without you, Courtney.
Won't
be the same without you. Just saying.
Right. That's right.
So come on back if you ever get a chance. So anyway, that's.
Yeah, so I thought Garfield and Maguire were great in this movie. Plus, you didn't just get like a cameo like you did in Ghostbusters Afterlife, where it was kind of like it was a nice cameo, but it was really too short, and you get to.
That's kind of all you could do with how old they are, though. So I think considering
how
old they are, they did it. It was pretty. Great.
I would have liked. I would have liked a little bit more. I would have liked a little bit more mentoring.
Oh, yeah, well,
but, I'm getting greedy, but I'm saying this.
I hear you. I mean, the guys are real old, dude.
This
can't do much.
This this wasn't a cameo. This was pretty decent sized roles in these movies, and of course the introduction to the Spider-Man are hysterical. In the house when the grandmother's like, "Can you get the cobwebs off my wall?" And they're like, and Garfield's like hanging. He's like, "This isn't enough to show that I'm Spider-Man." Hanging from the ceiling. She's like, and MJ's like, crawl around a little bit on the ceiling. I'm not crawling around on the ceiling. So there were great character moments in there too that I thought was really well written compared to the last ASM movies. They were just the previous Sony movies, and the villains were just horrible. And it was funny, like the Lizard's asking Electro, like, did you get a makeover? You fixed your teeth and you don't have a comb over anymore? And they kind of just made it like a joke about the multiverse joke. But everything it's, and you can see when people are still reacting to the movie in the theater like that, having a great time. It's a fun movie. It hits all the right notes, and like you said, the Doctor Strange stuff, and then doesn't he have a spell to like dry out the mansion or this Doctor Strange place, like
everything but that.
Everything but that. It's like, but it's like, that's silly, silly stuff. But and Green Goblin, God, it's just so well done in this movie. It's and they smash the helmet. They get rid of the helmet in the beginning.
Yeah.
When I saw that Alfred Molina was going to be in it, I don't think that guy's ever been in a bad movie. He's a great actor. His American accent is so funny because I went with a guy from work, and I turned over and said, "Are there actually American actors in this?" You got two British Spider-Man. You got you got British Doc Ock. You got British Doctor
Lizard.
Strange. Yeah, British Lizard. Yeah, I mean everybody's British.
I'm not
All they
sure.
did was Henry Cavill and what's his name from the Dark Knight trilogy.
Or was the lizard the guy that was? They give the lizard an English accent in this one?
Yeah, they did. Kurt Connors for some reason is English in the ASM movies, but our first movie. But I'm not sure I've ever seen Alfred Molina in anything outside of Raiders of the Lost Ark. To be honest, I'm sure he's been great in other stuff, but he's a great actor.
You've also seen him in
Other than Spider-Man 2.
I know that you saw him, even though I don't know that you went. I can almost bet. Actually, I would bet that you went and saw. My brain on Sunday nights just does not work.
Yeah, my brain was frazzled tonight too. Yeah.
The James Garner movie that Mel Gibson, or the James Garner TV show, Maverick.
Oh yeah, he was in that. That's right.
He was in that. Okay.
Yeah,
and he was really good. He can do, and he was also in a movie about this Mexican artist Frida. But that guy can do anything. He's just
okay. Yeah, it wasn't that.
In Hail to Small Time, he says he was in Boogie Nights. Boogie Nights is a great movie. I'm forgetting what role he had, but I'm sure. Yeah, that's another great movie. Yep.
Well, that's one of the things I really like about him is that when he's in something, he doesn't necessarily draw attention to himself, except by being really good. So
true.
Yeah, but and I getting back to what you were talking about, Garfield. I think this was the best performance I've seen from him.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't like those two Spider-Man movies he did, but I kind of liked him. I mean, I thought, obviously he looked more like Peter Parker. He acted more like Peter Parker, especially when he was in the Spider-Man. I mean, he acted more like Spider-Man when he was in the costume. If you watch those two movies, the Spidey scenes, he's talking and acting just like Spider-Man does in the comic book.
The wise.
I mean, he's the wise ass.
Wise
he's always
guy.
making
Yeah.
Jokes. Remember the
I
scene?
don't think he's practically threatening a cop.
Huh?
He practically threatens a cop in it.
Other than that, though, it's hard to remember. Those movies are so bad, but other than that, I saw a lot of scenes where he's talking like Spidey, especially in that stupid second one. Some of the just normal Spidey scenes where he's doing, Spidey stuff, I think are actually pretty good. I just think the overall movie's pretty bad. But there's even one scene where he's helping the fireman fight this fire, and he puts a fire helmet on just because it looks, kind of goofy thing Spider-Man would do. And but so the characterization, I like the guy, and when you look at his face, especially back then, he looks like Steve Ditko himself drew him. He looks like Peter Parker.
See, I don't see that at all.
Oh, he does. He's
he's got this really pointy, low forehead, spiky hair. He looks like a wolf.
Right. You ever looked at any old Ditko drawings of Peter Parker?
Yeah, drew him a flat top.
Yeah. Well, I didn't say he looked like he was like a picture, but he looks like a skinny kid. Like
he looks more than Maguire did. I thought
way more than Maguire. Not even close.
No, I'm just gonna have to disagree on that.
You think Maguire looks more like Peter Parker?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
Huh.
Yeah, I really do. But that's.
He looks more like a Ramita Parker. I'll give you that because Peter Parker. When Ramita drew him,
I was about to say that.
Ramita drew him. He was sort of older. He was sort of filled out. In fact, Ramita kind of drew him more like a lean, muscular man, but Ditko drew him like a skinny kid.
Yeah, he did. You're right. He did. I don't know. I think it's the hair for me. He's got kind of Wolfman hair.
He has kind of a square head when the Ditko ones, but no. Yep. Yeah, I guess I'll definitely. I can see that though, where you would say one looks more Ramita, one looks Ditko, and I guess that means Tom Holland looks more like Gil Kane.
And there was, before I forget, there was Ditko graffiti on the school, if you caught that, when Spider-Man goes up. There's first day of school, and he goes up there with MJ. And when they pan in, you can see Ditko is written in the back behind them on the in graffiti on the roof of the school, which is kind of a cool touch. So hopefully the state is getting some money, but at least they're not. They had that in there. But
nope.
They're not
having a big fight with Marvel right now.
Not yet.
Well, Ditko didn't want it.
He didn't, right? Yeah.
That's why they didn't start fighting until after he was gone. He didn't care. He did not want it.
He didn't care, right? Yeah, he was. That's that interesting documentary that you were telling us about, where they went to see Ditko. What's that called?
Steve Ditko.
Yep.
And it's in multi-parts on YouTube. Jonathan Ross. This is about 2007, I think, something this was done. Jonathan Ross is sort of like at the time anyway, was sort of like a David Letterman in the UK. He was, he was known for that kind of talk show host and stuff. But even though he was like one of those guys, he was a comics freak. He loved Kirby and Ditko and stuff like that. and he went to Ditko. He went to Ditko's studio in New York and tried to get in. Basically, Ditko just kind of slammed the door on him, and he walked out and basically with his crew and his crew and everything, his camera crew and stuff. And he said they basically just told us to F off or whatever. And so he called Neil Gaiman, and Neil Gaiman got him in there, but they couldn't bring the cameras. And they came out like hour later with all this stuff comics stuff that they gave him, and they were looking like a couple of kids. They were like, "Oh my god, we got to hang out." It was huge for them.
And they got to interview him, I guess. And,
Nope.
No interview.
I mean, they got to talk to him inside.
No interview. Just, I mean, not on camera, but like,
not at all. They just got to meet him and get some comics. So he didn't say anything.
Wow. Didn't he get his autograph by something like, "Never bother me again" or something?
Pretty much. I don't know about that, but I told you about. I don't know, see if I told you this or not, but 4 or 5 years ago, whatever it was, my buddy John Cimino, I've had him on the show a couple of times. He's a nice. He's actually the he used to be the agent for your old boy Jackson Bostwick, but now he's the agent for Roy Thomas, and I had him on. But a few years ago, and then I used to have him on the show years before this. He sends me a picture in a text message, and it's got this door on it, and it says Ditko. Basically, I said, "Is this for real?" And it was Ditko's front door of his studio that he tried to get in. And I was like, "What the hell?" And he told me later, said, "Yeah, we couldn't get in," or whatever. He laughed. So that was that, right? And then right after Ditko passed away in 2018, obviously since he was already gone, John kept it, and didn't do anything. So after he was already gone, he put it on Facebook for like a couple of days, and then he took it off. A video of them knocking on Ditko's door. Ditko opens the thing up, looks and sees that they're filming, and he just basically doesn't really flip them off, but he waves them off like, "Get the f out of here."
Crazy
the door on him. It's just he put the video up there. Because obviously he didn't want to do it when he was still with us, whatever. He tried to cut him, So the guy didn't want to be messed with.
And Ditko is like probably the one guy who had even more contempt for his fans than Alan Moore.
Well, he would let fans go in there. I mean, there were other fans that got in there and talked to him, but he just didn't like he didn't like me thinking about Spider-Man much because and other stuff because he was, he felt like he had it stolen from him, which he kind of did.
Yeah, he did. He would. It's the best artists are the ones that don't stick with their glory days and are always wanting to do something new. And you really have to. That's what makes him a creator, not just an artist. Is he was always doing something new. I don't think he was as creative as Jack Kirby was. Although his characters were further apart from each other, they were less similar. If you think about Spider-Man and then the Question, or I won't bring up Speedball, but his characters are all very much individuals. You can't really say they're.
See, the thing about Ditko was, and I love his work. I guess he was like a big objectivist. He is a big disciple of Ayn Rand.
Ayn Rand, yeah.
And he wrote his Spider-Man that way, pretty much. Spider-Man was kind of, if you look at some of the dialogue, even though Stan did most of the dialogue in those comics, Spider-Man was, Peter Parker was pretty cold. Spider-Man was pretty cold. And then when he goes on to work for Tower Comics, when one of the Thunder Agents, those characters were kind of cold. No Man was a robot type guy. And when he went to create the Question for Charlton, and then with same deal. Blue, he just kept creating these characters that were very similar to each other. Then Mr. A, and he believed in black and white. He didn't like gray areas. He didn't believe in any of that stuff. That was a subjectivist point of view, and he's elaborated on it in detail. And there was in the 80s, there was a video made that was just sort of like distributed to comic shops. Mostly it's on YouTube now, called The Masters of Comic Book Art. And they got Ditko to participate, but they just said he wouldn't be interviewed. He just made a long statement about his philosophy, and they just showed clips of his art. Harlan Ellison hosted that thing.
Hail Dadman.
Hail Dadman.
Welcome.
Want to know Ditko's philosophy? Watch that. Hey, buddy.
Hey, how are you tonight?
What's up, man?
He's got a new face for. Look at you. Look so much better in the new year. God, you.
Oh, I like the
great.
cow. Yeah.
Have you done something different with your hair?
Oh, lovely
Claudius
Sherry.
was-
Are you okay, Sherry? I hope you're all right, dear.
Yes.
Missed that with the
Nice
spicy
to see you.
sidewalk.
Well, I heard the Spider-Man talk, so I figured I'd come in on for the Miles Morales contingent. So
We never heard of him.
he is
Who's
not
that?
Peter Parker, though.
Who's
It's that
that?
multiverse thing.
Who's
Oh.
Miles Morales?
I don't know. Some guy they say plays Spider-Man in a different universe.
No.
Must be British with a name like Miles.
No. No, you know
Yeah.
I did like that multiverse Spider-Man movie.
You
I
like
did
that
like
dumb
it.
movie? That movie sucked.
It was. I like dumb things,
liked-
like Bobby.
I
In
liked
all
it.
honesty,
No, I liked it.
I liked
just
it.
messing
But
with
you
you,
know,
dude. It's
but the
fine. Most
character
people
I
like it.
really, but the character in there I really liked the best was not all the big names. Peter Porker was the one I liked. The pig, the animated
Oh, yeah.
pig. That's the
I
one.
thought-
That was my favorite character.
I thought you were going to say Spider Noir.
I like
That was
Spider-Man
cool.
Noir.
Oh, that was kind of cool. Yeah,
It was
forgot
Cage
about that
doing
one.
his voice.
That was cool.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep, that was cool.
Well, I guess
What?
Sherry said she had a spill on the ice.
Oh,
but,
no.
Snort said you need some non-skid polar bear paws. Yeah. But yes, they say if you had the temperature was like 51 degrees out here near New York City, now it dropped down to like 28 degrees.
Yeah,
in the
we
last-
finally got cold
It's
tonight.
just plummeted.
Yeah,
It was
everybody
such a
is,
nice week.
It was 28
Well-
this morning here
Wow.
in Vegas. Yeah.
Wow.
In Vegas, wow.
Well, last year we had a brutally cold winter in Vegas, a long, cold winter, and then a long, broiling hot summer. I'm just waiting
Well-
for 2022 to be better. So,
Well,
Well, yeah, not
in Northeast Florida today, it was like 81, 83, and in that area, it's 72 still right now at 11:30.
Wow.
And the front's about to
Damn,
come
dude.
through in the next few hours.
That's strange because I was already here. It's 32 degrees, and that's you know how rare that is in Baton Rouge, Steve.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's supposed to drop to 50 tonight though, so it'll drop quickly.
yeah.
Yeah, well, speaking of bad weather and bad things, I just want not to bring everyone down, but a buddy from college lives out in Colorado, and unfortunately, his house burned down last on December 30th. So I
Wow.
just want to share this GoFundMe. If you can't donate, even I'll put it in the link. Even if you could just retweet it out or spread the word. Even if you can't donate or there's a lot of people to help. So, but even just spreading the word. But he's a good guy, and I just saw the picture on Facebook. You turn Facebook on and see a burnt out house. The house isn't showing here, so I don't want to share that because it's not public. But just imagine any just the horror of seeing coming home and having your house burned to the ground. I was thinking about all the comics that I have and the family pictures. I think those are the most cherished things too. If you lose family pictures and those kind of memories. I mean, thank God everyone got out okay, but it's thank you for doing that, Eric. I appreciate it. He's going to sneak in on FNT. Really appreciate it. But yeah, Tim and his family is a good guy, and Tim had been battling some health problems himself for the past few years, and thankfully it seems like he's doing okay. But just great people, and to see all those people that are devastated out there, and we just had that huge tornado in the Midwest that was horrible. So, but I think that's what's great about us is our people. They've already raised a ton of money, thank God, to help the family, but people stick together and help each other and really do a lot. So at the college, here's the picture. Okay, they did show the picture. I don't want to show anything, the Facebook page if it wasn't public. But just think of coming back to your house, and then that's what's left. So just devastating. Of course, thank God they're okay, but it's just so sad. You just lose everything. I mean, you got to find a place to live. You got to just the clothes. What do you wear the next day, right? I mean, what do you
Crazy. Yeah.
what do you do, right? I mean, we like your TVs or your stuff like that, but it's the family.
And you said that was a fire in Colorado?
It was a fire in Colorado, yeah.
Well, I saw a video on Twitter the other day that somebody put out there where people I think it was a Chuck E. Cheese or something, and they had to make a last second escape. They're 100-mile-an-hour winds, and the smoke was right on top of them. So it's always, especially dealing with fire like that, and it can jump like crazy.
yeah, and you think, oh, I mean, you don't have any time. It's like you just, I mean, it's something like that. I mean, you think might happen, but I mean, how do you, you got to get out and you. It's not even like a house fire where, you know, you just get out, get out of the house, and you're in danger just by being in the neighborhoods. You've got to get out and drive through the, that uh, horrible flames. I don't know all the details, but in the past, people have actually perished, just trying to escape some of these wildfires. So, I mean, it's not like you can, you can maybe grab a few things, but you got to
Sometimes you
get
just don't
out,
have
and
time. Yeah.
you don't have time. You just got to get out and you know, just get out with your lives. But it's just such a sad, we had some fun times partying in college, of course, and he's on the more liberal side. We'll say we always had some fun debates, but he's a super nice guy. Tim has always had a smile on his face. You can see there, a friendly guy, and yeah, we argue politics, but it was all good natured, fun. Back, that's the kind of person you love to talk to and hang out with, and really great people. So. If you could help spread that word, and Eric, if you can sneak that on FNT, that would be awesome. Whatever we can do to help the family or make, if you don't, I mean, you guys don't know this family, but just, donate to the Red Cross or, any relief fund or to the, even for the people for the tornado, help these people out. It would be, even if you can only do a little bit, you feel good, I think, by helping, even, give $10 or $5 or something, if you do it, it's just doing a little thing. That's why I love at the end of the year we're talking about It's a Wonderful Life. It's like how great that last scene is, and I don't know how someone started to chop onions the first time I watched that movie with my college buddies. So and you're thinking about all the people that come to your need, and even though the people aren't, the town is not wealthy, right, in terms of dollar amount, but they're very wealthy in terms of how much they stick up for each other and support each other and how they help each other out. So that's why that last scene is just so, when everyone comes in, here's $5, here's $10, they're saving, gonna save the savings and loan, and hey, now that you're down in your luck, we're gonna help each other. So that's that's what I love about these kind of things. So and oh geez, Eric K is saying his house burnt down. He lost everything he ever owned from when he was a kid.
Wow.
All the stuff from his family. Oh geez, it's horrible to hear. Very sorry to hear that, Eric. Yep.
Jesus, dude.
God, it's
terrible.
Yeah, stuff from the family. It's the family. That's what I was thinking about when I came home tonight. I was looking. My grandmother was an artist, and I was looking. I'm like, what would I was just thinking, like, you think these crazy things. You're like, well, what if I had 10 minutes? What would I grab? I'm like, oh,
yeah.
I'm like, I'd grab, like my grandmother's paintings that she'd done. I'm like, those were some of the things I try to grab. Yep. A sewing machine, a special sewing machine. That's the pictures and things. That's what's so tough. So
yeah,
it's that's sorry to hear. Yeah, that's like the like your computer or your phone or your that kind of stuff. Even some of the the toys and stuff you can get again, but that's real tough to hear. Yep. And the Captain James C. Skywalker says he has room to store my collection at his house to help with any insurance needs. Yep.
I'm sure you have no shortage of volunteers to help store your stuff, Mark.
Yep. Yeah. And then the missus wouldn't mind that either. Yep. Yep. So I guess Snort is confused. That's okay, Snort. We'll try to unconfuse you. Yep. But yeah, and sorry to bring the mood down, but
dude,
that's a good that's what's good about good about people. So, but yep, it's good stuff. Yep. So
guys, excuse me. I'm gonna cut for just a couple of minutes. I have to make bottles for the night, and I think I'm gonna make some popcorn because.
All right, dude.
No, but I will be back momentarily. Don't do anything too cool without me.
Bring the popcorn, bro.
And Wesley
Absolutely.
shot first.
Wesley shot
Oh
first. Yeah.
man, I tell you, I did put that in one of the chats last night. I was like, since it's 2022, does Wesley still suck?
Yes.
I guess
And
that
score?
will always be
Yes.
in perpetuity. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Can you ever find a way to forgive Wesley? He was just a young boy.
No.
I blame it more on the writers,
Garbage.
but looking at now, knowing the character, now knowing like seeing all the stuff today and what a shill he is, it's doesn't make it any easier. Like when he's a kid, no one should pick on a young kid. Obviously, and we've all said
Yeah,
that.
that was different.
Micah
He
said
was a
that,
child.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Well,
can't-
he kind of encourages it with the shill now. Yeah.
But it was funny on Big Bang Theory when Sheldon, like, that was his arch enemy, and those scenes were hysterical. And Sheldon was trying to get Wesley Crusher. I know you don't like, you probably haven't watched that
I was
show,
actually
Mike.
watching that. Yeah, I did watch. I was watching that. Then I saw.
Oh, you did watch that? Okay,
Yeah,
saw
yeah,
those, yeah.
Wheaton!
We
By the way, that 22 show last night that you did with the shows that were cut short, Mrs. Dabman's going to go back and watch that one because I know she agreed with a lot of your top choices.
Oh, really? Oh,
that was a great
Oh,
show.
yeah.
Yeah, you did a nice
Briscoe
job. with that,
County,
cool, thanks. Cool, thanks.
yeah, a lot, several of those shows, and that was an awesome show you had though last night.
Thanks, man. I love Briscoe. That makes me so sad when I think about
Yeah.
what happened.
Yeah,
Cut,
Well, that's
cut
cool.
far too short. Yep.
Well, there was so many, the few shows
Yeah.
I forgot, of course, and there's so many of them. It's tough to come up with all of them,
I just had to jump on that one though when the Green Lantern animated series because I do thank you for recommending that one. I've not been able to finish it yet, but it's still been a great series to watch.
Yeah,
That
well,
was
take
gr-
your
that
time.
was
There's
good
only
stuff,
26 of them.
Yep.
All right, so this should make everyone feel better. I just won $45 in fantasy football.
Yeah.
Hey!
did you?
Yeah, no,
We
I
obviously
won-
didn't
no
have the
one-
Cowboys then.
It cost me $75 to enter the league, but
Did the Cowgirls lose today?
the Cowboys, the Cowgirls,
Look,
what did they do? Don't
Yeah,
insult
the-
women like that.
No, you talk the Jerry Jones effect. I just don't think our
They
quarterback.
lost by 3.
I don't think our quarterback can carry a game. Well, they started so slow in the first half and 7 points
Right.
a half. You got to have offense. If you pay a guy that much to be a star quarterback, you can't have games where the offense gives up the first half to the opponent. You
Yeah.
expect
No, I hear you
something for
there.
your money. But
Oh yeah, absolutely.
yeah, but they'll make the playoffs. They'll get a home game and then lose it promptly. So
That is correct, sir. That is correct. It will. That's exactly what will happen.
Not that anyone cares about my fantasy football team, but I do. But the funny
Yeah.
thing is, I was
Who's
2
your
and
quarterback?
12. My quarterback's Patrick Mahomes.
Ah,
I was 2 and 12 during the season, so I was like the worst.
Isn't he
Like,
having an off
by
year?
far. Yeah, and I'm usually really good in fantasy football. I'm usually always in the the top 3, in fantasy football. And my son's taking an sports analytic class at Syracuse University, so he was helping me with the team, and he helping me pick up players. That's what they do now.
Yeah.
They do all the probabilities and stuff.
oh,
So he made a great pickup for me. The New England running back, so he got a ton of points that help the team win. So maybe I'll have to cut him give him the $45.
you know who the Patriots played today, don't you?
Oh, they played that really good team today, right?
Yeah, the one from
your favorite
Jacksonville,
team.
the little like the puppy, the kitty cats.
They laid up
The Jaguars.
yeah, they dropped like 50 on him or something.
Yeah, dropped 50 on them. Yeah, and that was like almost 40 in the first half alone. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
geez.
so poor Jaguars, God, that's sad. But,
Well, the one thing is when they came in, the thing about the owner's son was that he was big into analytics, and they were going to use analytics, and this is like 10 years ago, and it's like
has it helped?
I'm a firm believer there's a lot of instinct to football and sports that you can never take out. You can run numbers, do all the things you
right.
want to, but at the end of the day, there's a gut feeling with the coaches on the field, like this thing where they don't go score early because they're so afraid of leaving time on the clock. It happened in the Cincinnati game today, but they got their quarterback hurt. I don't know how bad Joe Burrow was hurt, but he was limping at the end.
He did some stupid. I'm watching that game. See down here, I don't know if you know, Dad, man. But you know how this kind of happens with college. Joe Burrow is such a phenomenon that now the Bengals are almost as loved as the Saints are here because he went. What
Is
he
that
did
what
there.
they're chanting "Who Dat" up there?
We say who dat for the Saints, but those idiots say who day in Cincinnati. They ripped us off. But anyway,
I thought so.
LSU fans are so rabid down here that they love Burrow for what he gave them in 2019, which was like one of the greatest seasons of any college team ever had. And they love him so much, man. The Bengals have become huge down here. In fact, our affiliate,
hysterical.
every time they can, unless they put every Bengals game on here, almost like it's just the Saints.
Yeah,
because of
but
Joe
people
Burrow.
would change to rooting for the Bungles instead of the Saints.
Not the real hardcore Saints fans, no. But a
But
lot of
people would want
LSU
them to
people
do
who
well.
mildly root for the Saints and are for them because of the local team will divide their allegiance to some point.
Yeah.
Well, they would like root for them as long as they're not like their second team, kind of like
Yeah, but
kind of
there's
root
some
for them
that love LSU so much that now that Burrow's gone to a team, they will change their allegiance.
Yeah.
In other words, if the two were playing against each other in the Super Bowl,
God.
some of them would be torn. It's that bad. That's just because of how. Look, we talked about this the other night. You and I in private, how big college football is in the South, and LSU down here is just, and Dad Ben can tell you how people are rabid. The Gators Nation there is. It's huge.
Like same thing with Tebow. If any dang NFL, I mean, there were Broncos jerseys out crazy, but that horse face. Sorry, I need to watch how I say publicly. But there was jealousy, I believe, in Denver. But there were so many Broncos fans.
They love Tebow. Yeah,
they followed Tebow anywhere. And then when he went to the Jets, they followed. I mean, there's the cult with the personality there, and
that's right.
They love their football, and they show gratitude for the player that delivered for them. It's.
Right.
Is Tebow the only quarterback to get canned after taking his team to the championship game? Or I'm sure that maybe there've been other ones, but
not the only. But
yeah, what gets me, what gets me now is about 10 years later, and all this crap that was back then. Because I know the NFL writers here were like, he's got to take a snap under center, got to play pro style. But look at the NFL offenses now; they're all shotgun predominantly. They're all read option. I mean, I'm not thinking like. Where was all this? Yeah. It just anyway.
No, you're right.
Anyway,
it's a bad kind of.
Exactly. It's just it's crazy, but he's richer than I am and well off and very happy. So that, and he's not going to get beat up too bad. So hey, there's the popcorn
for me
today. The Bengals tried to jam it in. They could have won the game with a field, or at least got a lead at the field goal. They kept trying to jam it in like 6 times at the goal line and couldn't do it, but they kept getting lucky calls. They ended up beating Kansas City, but it's kind of Joe Burrow almost got hurt doing it, and like, what are you doing?
Because they kept sneaking the ball and they kept doing stuff like that where he took all the hits and the abuse, and instead of just handing the ball off to the running back with a minute left, they were so trying to run the clock out. He nearly got. Did he was limping, but did they say anything about that injury?
I don't follow it as much, so I don't know. I haven't heard anything.
He must be okay because I haven't heard any big headlines about it. But
it would be all over the place. He threw for 500 yards last week and almost 500 this week.
It was crazy.
Mahomes started that game really hot. I mean, it 2 touchdowns in the first quarter.
Yeah,
that was
right.
it. Yeah, we had Mahomes in fantasy. He's going to get 50 points today.
And they had a receiver that had like over 200, almost 300 yards, I think. So just alone in receiving yards.
Yeah. They did.
But see, that to me is coaching. And what we were saying about, away from analytics to like coaching decisions. That's what to me it comes down to at the end of the day. That was a bad example of bad coaching decisions. I think that they're so paranoid, like with Mahomes, they didn't want to give him any time. But you know what? There's no guarantee a kicker will make a field goal even from 20 yards because you got a snap, a hold, and a kick. 1 of 3 things can go wrong on any given play.
Yep.
I would rather punch the ball in the end zone with a running back and not ruin my quarterback on a sneak, if it's possible, especially when they had first down at the 1 yard line. I mean that I thought was bonehead. Last night though, in the Sugar Bowl though, there you got a different issue with Matt Corral from Ole Miss, who could have sat out like a lot of players are doing now, but he played and he got hurt. You
I
know,
didn't I didn't get to see that one last night.
yeah,
I don't have
it was
cable.
it was like an low leg injury. It was pretty bad.
Yeah.
He got carted off. So, but you know
Yeah.
you know, that's the whole debate about whether you should play or not. But I respect a player that wants to play the game instead of just sitting out, and that's why I hope the league rewards him by it not affecting his draft status. Because because that's the big question.
Well, now all these bowl games, right? Because they're meaningless games other than the championship games, right?
Yep.
So
Now they
why
have
play?
And they still Gator Bowl wants $50 for a regular ticket, and I'm like,
Wow.
I'm not paying that, especially for Rutgers and Wake Forest.
You're not going to pay for the great team in the Northeast, Rutgers?
Look, I paid. I'm one when the ACC started their championship foot. Oh, I got serious stories about football in Wake Forest here, in small schools from the Northeast. There were 3 ACC championship games held where I live. I'm one of the few people that went to all 3 games because I love football. The first year was FSU, Virginia Tech, sellout, great crowds because you had Florida State team and Virginia Tech, big travelers. The second year was Georgia Tech and Wake Forest, 2 private schools, even though in the Southeast, wet, miserable, and everything. And it was like a 9-6 field goal fest. And then the last game was Virginia Tech and Boston College. Boston College, I swear, had like 25 people in their band. It was so small, and there were so few fans there. And it's like, and I'm thinking the league, and then the league moved it and started rotating it. It's like this city could have supported you guys and was trying to get away from the SEC image, but it's like it's like they were held responsible for horrendous matchups because
we got to have the crowds that draw. Like I was talking about the Cloburn times. Like we in the Northeast, college football is basically non-existent. You've got Rutgers, you got Syracuse and BC. I'm sure I'm missing maybe another couple of teams, but other than that, and there's some, you got that great rivalry between Lehigh and Lafayette, but that's, Division I Patriot League. It's not really, I mean, you get a great turnout for that game. Like that's an awesome game.
Well, you do have Penn State and Pitt, though.
Penn State and Pitt, I forget, but other than that, it's it's a southern, it's a southern game, and Dallas and Texas, and so up here it doesn't get the coverage that it does. You put on sports talk radio here, you'd hear a little bit about because now it's in the playoffs, and you hear a little bit about the bowl games, but not. And the bowl games aren't the same too, because that was so fun on New Year's Day. And if you weren't watching the the marathon of Twilight Zone, it was college football all day. And the games meant something too, right? I mean, because of the ranking system. But now, the game, is the championship next Monday night, I guess, or
the 10th.
So.
Yep.
Yep.
Alabama, Georgia.
I hope it's on regular network television. That's
probably I think it's on ESPN. I think it's on ESPN again.
God, really?
I think so. Yeah.
Why would they do that?
Yale versus Harvard. Oh, money, right? Yeah.
Senate.
Sure?
I don't know.
ABC.
Well, maybe it's ABC. I'll check real quick because it's. I know I get so confused between ABC. I get so confused between ABC and ESPN these days anyway because it just seems like they're one the same.
Well, they are. They own each other.
Yeah.
Yep. But it's I mean, you got so many entertainment choices now. Like it's not just sports is live sports is probably one of the few things that does well on TV. I think, right? I mean, out of all of us here, who still has cable TV? I don't have cable TV. The Cloburn Times, you don't.
I just lost my direct TV. I don't have that anymore. So
you don't have direct TV.
I had cable in decades, but
you had satellite, right?
Satellite, yeah, same thing.
Quote unquote, yeah. And then Dadman, do you have cable TV?
I have Sling TV. It's not cable; it's a streaming service.
You're streaming,
but I usually do deactivate it between basketball, of the summer months when there's nothing really to watch. So, the only reason I really have it is to get through college football season. I mean, I got some other channels that come with it that I watch occasionally as I feel like it, but the main reason is college football. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have it.
You wouldn't, right? Yeah.
Right, exactly.
And I have direct TV streaming. It's not a very popular service. They keep raising the prices. I'm wondering, God, 99% of the time I'm watching YouTube or I'm on YouTube. Why am I still paying? My wife the wife watches Netflix. The kids watch the sports, so like they have to have ESPN, or they're all about sports. And my daughter just streams, so she doesn't watch any live TV. Like the
Well,
old days, like
I'll tell you honestly, half the time I end up muting the announcers and just watch the game. Yeah, especially certain announcers.
Yep. But yeah, it's like I've said it a million times to my kids, I don't think watch anything other than sports live. I think everything is always streaming. And we're talking about, well, we should talk about Cobra Kai a little bit. No, there won't be any spoilers, but since it just came out,
Cobra Kai is crack.
It's crack.
It sounds like it. Apparently,
it is. Man, Mark and I were talking about it coming out last week, and he was saying something like, maybe we should try to like watch it slowly, a little bit at a time, since they drop it all at once. Yeah, and I was like, okay. I mean, it's just not possible. It's just a bag of chips. It's that popcorn Steve has, what have you. He can't eat one little piece. No one can. You can't eat one. You got the episodes there, and it just can't. Man.
Yeah, just one more.
I kept doing it over, and I knocked them out so quick. Now I'm like, oh my god, I got to wait a year, you bastards.
Yeah,
it's only 10 episodes,
right? Yeah, it's only 10 hours of TV.
And I hate most new stuff.
Yeah, so it's high praise from Clobberin Times. Yeah, Dad, man, have you watched any of it?
Well, no, I haven't. But to be honest, I was never a Karate Kid fan growing up either.
That doesn't matter, though.
It doesn't matter with this one.
Everyone tells you that. Everyone who and I was never really that. I liked the first movie. Actually, later when I finally saw it, I have a long story about it, but I was never that big on it either. They're okay now. I appreciate them more later. This is nothing even close. It's not. I mean, it is a wonderful continuation of it, but you don't really have to be. You can know the bare minimum and watch the show, and just that's all you need. And again, it'll probably make you want to go take a look at them again, if nothing else. But that's
okay.
And hi to Matthew Pounder. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Pounder.
But I'd say just watch Karate Kid, the original movie. That's enough. I mean, if you want to watch 2 and 3,
you don't even have to. I didn't.
You don't have.
I haven't seen them in years. I didn't watch it before I watched.
Oh no! But I'm saying if you wanted to, learn more about the background of Mr. Miyagi, Pat Morita is so fantastic. I mean, you don't have to.
He is 100%
great, right? But I mean, if you wanted to just see why some of those scenes resonate so well, in the original Karate Kid, there's a scene where Morita's showing his Medal of Honor, and actually they'd wanted to cut that out, as I read. And that was probably one of the better scenes in the whole series, where he's, talking about how he was interned, as a kid, and then fought for the USA and earned a Medal of Honor. So that's a really, really great scene. But you're right; it's super accessible. But it does help knowing, seeing that scene with Johnny and picking on Ralph Macchio, Daniel. But then seeing it from his point of view,
there are enough flashbacks to familiarize you with the films.
Yeah.
You could never watch the films. And there's enough that does that.
Yeah, but it's so and it's just so well done when you're like, oh yeah, actually Johnny does have a point there. Yep. This kid was annoying him, and he punched back, and attacked him in the bathroom, and so.
Well, that seems to be a common theme. I've heard nothing but good things from people with the writing, with the all that. So
do you know about the? Did you know this got made because of a YouTube video?
No.
Well, even if you're just vaguely familiar with the original film, a lot of people, had watched this video on YouTube a few years before Cobra Kai got made as a series, where a guy, I don't know how long the video was now, 6, 7, 8 minutes or more, where he made a case for if you watch it, Johnny's actually the good guy and Daniel LaRusso's the bad guy of the film. And everybody kind of laughed at it, but he actually makes pretty good arguments. You go, oh, wow. But that was seen by a few people. Go, whoa, that's what kind of sparked the idea to do this show. They'll tell you that. The guys who made the show talk about that.
And that was was that a fan video on YouTube?
It was just a YouTuber just making a point. But
you know what?
Like a critical drinker type video, I guess.
Yeah, but that seems to be, and I tell you, I've done that in the Star Wars. It seems like the best material that is well written and that sticks more towards whatever lore you have, or like this case, it's a different take, but it still seems the common theme seems to be these fan fiction movies are some of the best material that's being created out there these days. You know,
that's right.
I mean, some of the Star ones I've seen have been
Fantastic
amazing.
idea, right?
So, and I even didn't get mad when I saw Darth Maul in one of them, Mark.
Oh yeah,
Of course, it was before he got cut in half. You know,
yeah,
so.
yeah. But what's great about they're so, and Stuart, we'll talk about Fat in a little bit, but yeah, I think what was great about this was how true they are to the characters, and the characters actually evolve too. So no spoilers here, but I mean, Johnny's character has an arc, Daniel's character has an arc, and even Crease has an arc too, where they kind of change a little bit. We kind of one thing with Boba Fett, we were kind of talking about how he's kind of acting like too much of a nice guy, especially after he's out of the Sarlacc pit. We'll get to that, but I can see where the characters do change over time, and I think Johnny learns a lot over time, and I think these kids do, and even especially this last season with Crease, there's some great stuff, and everyone I talked to watch it said, especially the last two episodes, really are phenomenal. With the last two episodes, with what they do and how they write it, and the characters, and the plot twists, and just some of the lines are just so hysterical that are in this movie. And Johnny is he's kind of like the Archie he's like the Archie Bunker kind of the show, and not in all that in terms of being clueless sometimes about things, and like he's trying to recruit everyone to the dojo, and that's not a spoiler because he's always trying to recruit people, and he's like trying to get women because now they're going to have it's not just they're going to have a men's girls and a boys division. So and he's like, we're trying to diversify, and he's saying the line is just hysterical, and he's saying all these how we're going to be inclusive, yada yada, and then the girl's like, well, what about gender fluid people? And he's like, well, it's very important when you're practicing karate to drink a lot of fluids and always be properly hydrated. I'm paraphrasing, but it's, stuff like that where it's fun, it's not mean spirited. It's just kind of fun, fun stuff. And it just blew me away when I first started watching the series, how good the writing was. And it's, we hate, the quote unquote woke word or whatever you want to call it. It's just, if it picks on, it's got all points of views, and it respects the audience. It's not, making fun of you as a person, and it's not, we talk about.
But instead of focusing on certain words and terms and stuff, like we talked about the other night, watch it for yourself and make your own mind, because because sometimes I've heard people allege stuff about shows or movies, and when I look back, I'm like, I didn't see that, so it always do it in your own, judge for yourself. And I tell you what, though, too.
Oh, yeah.
Mark, when the Shang-Chi movie, I went because of your recommendation on it. It was good. When Mark or Claudia,
you had a good time, right?
We had a good time, and I got popcorn, and the missus, we had a good time together. And Claudia, when you two guys speak, people should listen, because especially when y'all recommend something, listen to it and judge for yourself, because y'all are always good with your recommendations. So,
well, I actually have gotten away from giving things called recommendations. I have done a show once in a while, so like recommendations about comics. For the most part, I've decided not really to recommend anything anymore. I'll just say I liked it or I didn't, or I loved it or I didn't, or I thought it sucked or I didn't. Because I've been asked many times, like when I was my last job a couple years ago, I was at this big plant. Constantly, people come up and say, "Hey, I saw this commercial for so and so. Should I watch this? Or heard about this? Should I watch this? Shouldn't I?" I would say, "Look, make up your own mind, because you never know. I might think it's the worst crap ever. You may love it, or vice versa. And I don't want to be responsible for you missing out on something you might like, or get the blame for you going, you said that was good. It's so good."
Yeah.
That's always gonna be that wise guy there.
And these things sometimes involve judgments. What may bother me. Well, what may bother me may not bother you. What you might find that falls in a certain category, I might define differently. And so, like you said, at the end of the day, watch it if you want to, inform yourself and then give it a fair shot. Don't rely on somebody to tell you what's in something. Check it out for yourself. Because like you said, then they'll come back and said, you said not to see this. You said, and it's like, yeah, no.
Yeah, no, that's a great,
I just
great,
said I thought
great
it
way to.
sucked. That's all.
Yeah.
You watch what you want. I ain't the boss of you.
Exactly.
But
Now when Clobby speaks, I listen, because if he likes it, I'm more tending towards liking it. So you can judge it on that.
I don't even agree with me. I agree with Steve more than I agree with me.
I don't agree myself.
Even when Steve disagrees with me, I take Steve's side.
Yeah,
I agree with Hawkeye.
I'll probably be driving to work in the morning. I'll probably be driving to work in the morning about the stuff coming up tomorrow and arguing with myself on the way to work. So yeah.
There you go. I don't even trust myself.
Yeah. But the amazing thing is too, Martin Krove. This guy is 75 years old. So
Krove was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's great in this, and he's got some great. I mean, he's 75. This guy. He's 75.
It's good for 75.
Is that the bad guy, the Cobra
Kai?
That's the dojo guy. Oh wow,
the dojo. Yep, Cobra Kai. Yeah, originator of Cobra Kai. Yep.
He's definitely taking care of himself.
Yep.
And before that, he was in Cagney and Lacey.
Oh, Cagney and Lacey. Yeah,
wasn't he a regular? Was he a regular? Or something
Yeah,
he was. Yeah. And played a nice. He played a nice guy.
Weird. Did he play a nice guy? Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Remember he did a science fiction show that lasted like 3 weeks called Hard Time on Planet Earth?
I remember the title.
I don't remember that.
Yep. It was 1989. I remember the first episode came on the day my son was born. It was like one of the first. I remember. I guess that's why I remember it. Didn't last long, but he played an alien who was like a alien criminal or something like that had been banished to Earth or something as his punishment or whatever. I don't know how long it lasts, but it could have lasted long. I don't even know how many episodes they made.
I don't remember that one. Yep. Oh, and there's action figures now too.
Of what? Oh yeah. I
yes. I have to get some of those.
You're in trouble.
I'll have to do an enabling segment on those. Yep.
I was waiting since Netflix had taken over for this to go down here, for this season not to be as great. And wow. I mean, all right. Now we already talked about her. She's evil because she's so goddamn gorgeous and sexy,
and she can fight, and she can kick your ass.
16, dude.
No, she's not. She's 25 or 24.
Really?
Now she's playing a 17-year-old, which is why when I'm like, see, the other kids look like kids. This girl, right there, that's as close as they get to making her look fairly young. But the girl, no, I wouldn't be saying any of that stuff if she was actually 17.
You got to watch out what you say.
She is, well, but was it when Michael J. Fox?
She's a cutie patootie. I'll say that.
When Marty McFly was when Michael J. Fox played Marty McFly, it was 27, playing a 17-year-old.
How old
Rob
is
Macchio? Macchio was really old when he played Karate Kid, wasn't he?
Yeah, he always looked much younger. Macchio, yep. Yeah, when she came out, she's wearing that character's wearing a prom dress. I'm like, boom, watching with the missus. I'm like, wow, she's in high school. She's looking at me like,
well, it's not fair, man.
But all the kids are good. Like these characters are well written, and there's fun moments. And then there's a new girl who's on the debate team. So and Johnny's like I said, trying to recruit characters. So then they go, here's this kid. I can't remember his name, but he's like, I think this girl will be great. She's on the debate team. And then he's like, what? The debate team? Those are all nerds and geeks. So I don't want someone from the debate team. And then she like gets in a fight with the guy in the debate and goes over and like rips up the book that he's reading. He's like, I got to recruit her. Like she is not in it much, but she's got some great scenes and some great quotes.
This hysterical. Thing really pokes fun at wokeism and PC crap a lot. This show is very anti that, which is one of the reasons why it's so funny. What happened was, for those that don't know, was it 2018 or something when the first season came on, when YouTube was trying that YouTube Red thing that where they were making shows for YouTube, and they had the one season. I watched it because Johnson had a subscription to that, and I really liked the first season, but who knew where it was going to end up being? And then the second season I didn't watch right away, and when it ended up on Netflix, and we heard there was going to be a third, boom. I went back and started watching it again. That's when it really just took off.
Yeah, it was the most
That's-
popular show on Netflix for. I don't release all the data, but I guess when that came over, it just became a phenomenon. So it's one of the good things we can talk about. And the son, actually, Daniel's son, has actually got a good plot thread this season too.
Well,
So
that kid changed, didn't he, from year to year?
he lost a lot of weight. Yeah,
Yeah, but he was,
He-
and he was a growth spurt. They because the kid got, because the
that's
kid
the same
is,
kid though. I looked it
it's the
up. I
same
thought it was
kid. Yeah, it
the
is.
same kid.
I
Yeah.
thought he was different too because he was so skinny.
Yeah, see, he didn't finish all the bowl of ice cream in all the ice cream in one sitting anymore. We're joking about like not finishing.
He was
stuff
kind of the
all at
character.
once, yeah.
The character was kind of a joke in the previous
Yeah.
seasons.
But yeah, it was he had a good lines and good arc too, and it's just great viewing. Like you said though, it's only 10 episodes, so at least it doesn't drag out too long too, because that could be a detriment to a show. But I guess it's a lot different too when you watch a show back to back to back like that. You pick up some things, and some things are repetitive, I think, more than like waiting a week to watch the show. So I'd much rather they dropped it once a week, and then we could, it'd be like an event every week. You talk about it, like we're going to talk about it maybe now for the next few weeks when people bring it up, and then it's not like it's going to have that 10-week lifespan. It's going to, of course, Netflix probably doesn't care because they get everyone watching it anyway. But I like having that, week to week where you talk about stuff. Yeah,
It'll hurt some shows. It hurt The Expanse for people who are fans of The Expanse. Gary was always really concerned about that with what was happening because that the binge model is not necessarily good for a fledgling show or a show that's not huge.
yeah.
It won't hurt this one.
Yeah, it's got a built-in audience too, and then the season was so good again too that people are going to talk about it word of mouth, like Spider-Man, right? If Spider-Man had stunk, everyone would have said, "Hey, this movie's no good." It would have made a ton of money that first weekend. I mean, even the Turtles made what they make, 40 million or 50 or 60, and then after that they were done, right? So something like this that gets good word of mouth, and it's ends up doing huge viewership numbers. Who knows? It's not the same as broadcast, but I guess they do release some of the numbers. But yeah, and if it's got praise from Clobbering Times. You're a little bit tougher critic than me, right, Steve? Not to put you on the spot, but
I love Matthew Powder's comment is Clubby hasn't given it a nickname, which is promising.
yeah.
Oh wow, me? That's right. I haven't
Man of Stool.
I don't understand what you mean there.
Pee hard.
I don't know whatever do you mean?
That Matthew Powder, that is a great point. Hey, I have a trivia question.
Sure.
Does anybody know why they wear white? They're called a gi. Why the uniforms are traditionally white?
No, but I remember them calling them geese.
Yep. It's kind of interesting, actually. In most parts of Asia, white is the color of death. And so, like at a funeral, people wear white. When samurais would go into battle, they would wear what we call a gi, and it would be white because it was their funeral clothing, because they fully expected to die on the battlefield. So that really gives it context when you see now, like the black gi with the sleeves cut off, or a guy with a patch on it says "Lose weight now, ask me how," something. So I just thought I would throw that.
Have you seen that patch I have that says "Lose weight now, don't ask me how"?
Yeah, so Spidey made 121, right, to start with, I guess. That's a total. That's a total, right? And we're looking at the total. So, so today it's up to. Is this the day? Oh, this is the daily. Okay. Yeah, so it made $14 million. Wow, that's amazing. This far out, movies don't.
Today?
This is 17 days out.
Yeah,
so it had to have made more than 14 million.
Well, just today, just today, just on January 2nd, just today, made $14 million. So
this movie's doing what the big money makers do, which is like bringing people back multiple times. I've seen it twice. I saw that somebody has seen it a third time. kind of like this classic Star Wars or, some Trek, Indiana Jones, those type of movies where people go and watch them multiple times. It's
Yep.
been a long time since I've seen a movie. I do want to see Ghostbusters Afterlife a second time, but it's been a while since I've ever wanted to see a movie in the theater more than once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I saw this twice. Yeah, but so these numbers are kick-ass numbers when you compare, $14 million. Christmas Day it made 31 million. Well, 33 million on Sunday. So it's up to, this is just domestic. So domestic, it's up to, and we know it hit $1 billion, but so domestic, it's up to 557.
That's just
But
amazing.
if you compare it to, where's West Side Story made $27 million the whole run. So Spider-Man made more than that most days. Afterlife, which we all love, made 123. So only 123 million. So Spider-Man made that the first day or the first weekend, I should say.
Well, this movie, the Spider-Man movie, was it released only in theaters, or is it like The Matrix?
Yeah, only theaters. Yep. Only
Okay,
theaters.
so whereas other movies may have lower sales, they're still being maybe streamed and released to theaters at the same time. But this was strictly theater. Okay.
Yeah. So Eternals, I guess, is number 2 so far this year. And let's compare, just for fun, just to see. Yeah. So
Dark Shadow Logan.
Hey, another member of the comic book cabal.
Dark Shadow. What's up, buddy?
Welcome. But yeah, so I mean, look at these numbers. I mean, yeah, so 30, 20, 16. That's what I was trying to say. Everyone's gonna go see it that opening weekend, but then this is when the word gets out that the movie's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
You get 11 million on a Saturday, and then there's nothing in double digits after that, right? So Spider-Man today, after 17 days out, Spider-Man today made $14 million on a Sunday, and Eternals made $3 million. Just to show you the leg, yeah, that's the legs that a movie has. So it's
Yeah.
And will they learn from it?
No.
I hope so, but they probably not.
Well, yes. All right. Actually, I was kind of kidding. Here's your pattern. Ghostbusters, Sony. Spider-Man, Sony. Cobra Kai, Sony. So it's possible they may learn from it.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Cobra Kai is even Sony. And then someone made a good point tonight about how, unlike all these other ones, they don't have a streaming service. They just make stuff. And apparently that Tom talks a lot about how there's this one guy, I forget his name, one of the guys who was one of the jerks at Sony for a while, but has decided, he calls him Tom Rothman, I think his name is.
Yeah, the Rothman, I think he's CEO.
Yeah, Tom talks about it a lot and says that guy does seems to have learned a lesson and seems to imagine that wants their films to be watched and people to watch money. I mean, they spend money on them and stuff. So right now, Sony may have learned. Problem is they don't control many of the properties we love, just a few of them.
Yep. And I guess I was trying to look up. I got to look up who wrote this movie, but apparently this is more of Sony's. Marvel is bankrolling some of it, I guess, and they've got a deal to get Spidey in the MCU.
Sony though, 70-something%.
Yeah. So, and I mean, of course, just a few years ago, we we're talking about ASM too. How horrible it was with how poorly they did the the Lizard and Electro, and so they've really turned it around too. So we can't forget that the reason that we got Spidey in the MCU was because Sony made such horrible Spider-Man movies, thanks to the writers. It was Kurtzman who wrote ASM too, and
it was Klutzman.
It's Klutzman, right? So it's really a disaster that they were. It was so bad. They said, "Hey, Marvel, can you save Spider-Man?" And they brought him to the MCU. And Civil War is probably up to this movie. I think probably his best appearance. I thought in the movies. I love.
Yeah, he was really good. He was great in Infinity War too, though. I thought.
Yeah, but then with the Spidey solo movies, the first two movies, the first one was okay. It was decent. The second one I didn't really like that much. I mean, they're not horrible, but nowhere near as good as this movie.
Yeah.
So So I think they really did a great job with the writing in this movie, and plus the nostalgia factor. For us old timers, remember the old Spidey movie. Like my kids weren't even born, I think, when the Spider-Man, the Tobey Maguire movies were out. So
that was 20 years ago. Was the first one,
right?
Yeah.
So
Seems longer though.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
20. Well, yeah, 21 really. About 22 because it was like
22.
the year 2000, right? Was it
Yeah,
the first
so-
one 20 or was it 2002?
No, it's 2001 because they had to take out the scene from the
Oh,
Right,
that's
the
right.
trailer.
That's right.
The towers. Yep.
Yeah.
The first one. Yeah. All right. So
You
my
sure?
daughter was 1 year old. Yeah.
It wasn't
so, okay.
2022. It wasn't 2002 though. We're sure.
It
Maybe
may have been. It was after
I think it was
September 11th.
somewhere around there. Yeah.
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 That's right.
Yeah.
I think it was 2022. But yeah, so there you go.
I think in large part the whole success of comic book movies owes a lot to the first Spider-Man movie.
Agreed.
It brought in so much money and so many fans that had never, had no comic book background.
And that was the one with Doc Ock, right?
No, the second one, Doc Ock. First one,
Doc
was,
Ock, second one.
Yeah.
Goblin.
That's considered the
Okay.
best one. And healthy, your better half is here.
Oh,
The show
hell.
really just got better now.
Oh, Mrs. Dad.
Hey, Mrs.
Why do we
Yeah.
have you on, Mister? We should have Mrs. on. Just kidding.
Yeah.
No, actually, you probably should. She knows a lot more, and she's a lot better looking and a lot better talker.
Well, we don't know how
Much
good
better
looking
makeup than you.
you might be George Clooney for all we know.
Oh, gosh. Well, no, not in a million years.
If I ever meet you in person, you got to wear that dad man mask. Otherwise, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna know.
I
Like
know.
connect the voice to the face, right? But wait, you look a lot better in person.
I should have.
The dinky dog.
I should
Absolutely.
have worn the Dad Man T-shirt tonight for Mrs.
Oh,
Dad
yeah.
Man to get
Yeah. That's
Mrs. Dad Man
awesome.
for Christmas. I got one present this year for Christmas, but it's really cool. It's a Batman logo. It's a T-shirt with a Batman logo, and it says Dad Man on it. As soon as I got it out of the box, I was like, "Oh wow, Dad Man would love this."
Yes, it was awesome.
Yeah.
He's but that was an awesome shirt. Yeah. Believe it or not, I actually saw somebody on Twitter with the name Dadman walking the other day.
Oh yeah.
And it was the two are separated and there's a capital W. So it was interesting. I didn't Aang had told me repeatedly that there's others out there, but yeah. But I will tell you, talking about Doc Ock though, thanks for clarifying that was the second movie. But still, when I watched this No Way Home, I was amazed with his presence and his act. I like Doc Ock. I like Alfred Molina there. I remember him in the scenes at the start of the Raiders of the Lost Ark, and how he's gone from a small role like that to
I throw you the whip.
exactly.
Everybody remembers that, but for some reason, and I don't know why, nobody remembers him in Maverick. And he had a lot more lines in Maverick. He was that guy that was good.
I think the reason is one is a classic, like one of the greatest movies ever made. One is an okay remake of it. It really didn't need to be made of a TV show. I mean, it was an okay movie, but yeah,
I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was really funny.
It was okay, yeah, but I mean, is it Raiders of the Lost Ark though?
Yeah, but in Raiders though, he's he looks different, he sounds different, he's got like 12 lines.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was more impressed with him in the second one, especially his American accent. Like I said, is because you hear a lot of American accents that British people do, and they go kind of raspy, so that you can't really tell. And he doesn't have to. That's one of the things I really like about Henry Cavill. Man, his American accent is clean. It's really clean. Go ahead. You're about to...
What gets me with like in that case is he went from a very small role, like probably early in his career, and then seeing where he moves to like 20 years, later, and he's got a big starring role in a big movie. It's like that they actually go from a small actor to something bigger.
Well, there's a funny parallel there. Not funny. It may not even be that interesting, but we'll find out. With Harrison Ford, the star of that movie, one of his very first roles was in, Claudia will probably guess, Kung Fu.
Mm-hmm.
When he was very young. Yeah,
the TV show?
Yeah.
Kwai Chang Caine is basically surrendering to the railroad because he's sort of knows people who are blowing up the railroad because the railroad is taking their land. And he gets beaten to a pulp. He lets them because he's Kwai Chang Caine, so he lets them because he doesn't want them to kill somebody they say they're going to kill. And then Harrison Ford comes, and he's actually from the railroad. He sees Kwai Chang Caine there in the cell, and they have a discussion about what the right thing to do is. But it's a pretty humble part for Harrison Ford. So kind of, and it's a small part. He's only got maybe 2 minutes or something in the thing. So that's kind of a parallel with Alfred Molina, who started. And we were talking about last night on Claudia's channel about shows that should have had more seasons, and one of the ones that I said was The Man from Atlantis. And Patrick Duffy, he got his start out doing, I think it was Taco Bell commercials. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I haven't seen that in series in years. I should rewatch
I
it.
have. Not a few
Does it
years
hold?
ago.
How does it hold up?
Well, I mean, there were I think there were a couple of movies and a few episodes of a show, and that was about it. TV movies, and then there was.
It wasn't a lot.
It's kind of quiet. It's kind of a quiet, show. Really, it's not. As a kid, you see that and you go, "Wow, he's Aquaman! Aquaman! I gotta watch that."
I went crazy over that as a kid. Didn't the opening? Didn't they show him like diving deeper, and then like these barrels would crush or something, and he keeps going and going. Yeah, and the barrels. The barrels shouldn't crush because they should be filled with water. But sorry,
right? It's interesting to see, but
it's not as good as you remember. One of those not as good as you remember. Probably.
Well, I didn't really remember it much at all when I saw it. Because I didn't really watch it that much when it was on. I don't know what I was watching. But I did a little bit, so I didn't have like super fond memories one way or the other of it anyway. So
I just remember enjoying it as a kid, but I couldn't tell you any of the plot lines. I just remember that first episode, finding him washed up on the beach, and he's got gills or whatever. And the scientist it wasn't a female scientist that puts him in the tank or something to save his life or whatever. But
they're looking at him in a hospital, and the scientist where I don't know where. And then she looks up his nose and sees gills and takes him down to the beach and throws him in. Yeah.
Victor Borno was the recurring bad guy, weirdo bad guy.
Also known as King Tut from Batman.
Tut. He's my favorite. King Tut.
And he was on. He would go on mostly Carson show. Don't do the impression, Claudia. Don't do the impression.
You are correct, sir.
No, that's actually that's Ed. Victor Buono would go on the Tonight Show, and he was a very talented comedic poet who would do poems mostly about being fat. I still remember when they did, why they call the bad guy the heavy. It's unkind and also untrue. It implies that big people or fat people do all those horrible things we know all skinny people do. And then he goes on to say, Godzilla's only 14 pounds. The rest is all bad breath and warts. And underneath all that armor, Darth Vader only wears medium shorts.
Yep.
He's a very, very funny. Died young.
Oh yeah.
He did. Yeah.
True.
Good actor. Good poet. Yeah. So.
And then he sang, "And when I die, now don't think I'm a nut. Don't want no fancy funeral. Just one like old King Tut."
Anybody that's ever learned an instrument and starts playing the C major scale stumbles upon that. Hey, wait a minute!
I love that.
Of course, we did that today. They barbecuing, like you couldn't do "Walk Like an Egyptian" today.
I guess not.
Probably not. Yeah.
So there can be no humor.
And Dark Shadow Logan agrees. Yeah, it's better in memory than rewatching it. Man from Atlantis.
Well, I think. Well, I think there's a part of that is at that time. What did we have for like superhero type shows?
Oh, nothing.
$6 Million Man.
Maybe, that was about it.
Yeah, that was
and
it.
That's it. Well, Bionic Woman, I guess, was coming around at some point around there. Yeah, but it was before Marvel shows.
There was no. I mean. Yeah, the Hulk, but the Hulk was almost more like a horror show.
I think that was this was a little bit before Hulk. Yeah.
This is before Hulk. Yeah, okay.
I mean, Marvel did a comic of Man from Atlantis, though.
I think I still have a couple issues. Yeah.
Hey, to Dark Shadow Logan's comment there about rewatching something from back then, and it was harder rewatching it the second time. There was an old kid show I tried to show my kids many years ago. They're called the Newzoo Review.
Oh, wow.
Coming right at you.
Yeah, that one. I swear, I think that's the best part of that whole series because we got one where it was nothing but Nirvana and hippies and guitar strumming, and it was like peace, love, flower, and I'm like, my kids were like, "Dad, what are you doing this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't remember this." So I was like, we sent it back. But yeah, that theme song was a great theme song. But yeah, I know sometimes you get better memories than when you get back and watch it. It can let you down a little.
Have you seen the bloopers from that?
Oh my gosh, I've seen one on a not so safe for work videotape.
They're filthy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. News and review. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm sure the workers survive working. Yeah.
Yeah. Claude and I quote them all the time because we had an old tape when I don't know where we got it, somewhere in the 80s that had a bunch of Star Trek bloopers, but had Mork and Mindy bloopers, had a bunch of bloopers on it, and that was one of them. And wow,
it was Logan. Those came after. I believe all those came after the Man from Atlantis.
What?
Hulk, Spider-Man, Wonder Woman. I believe, but
I think they did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat will check for us. Yeah.
Somebody. Yeah.
But there weren't a ton. Either way, there weren't a ton of things, and the Hulk show never really struck me as a superhero show.
Hulk was definitely later.
Yeah, but I mean, even if
Hulk
but he
was
never fought
6 or 7. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it never really struck me as a superhero show. More Spidey did more.
He was a social worker.
Yeah, he was and he was always like righting some wrong, or there were no. I mean, it's been years since I saw it, but who did the Hulk fight that was? There were no supervillains on the Hulk show, right?
Let's see. He fought a gorilla. He fought a bear.
Yeah, alligator maybe.
He didn't even.
Yeah, he did alligator. I remember that. Yeah.
He fought another Hulk.
He did. The first. Yeah, played by Dick DeRock.
That's right. There you go.
AKA Swamp Thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
And who did the Hulk when they had when Thor was on with Daredevil? Who was the big bad in that one?
The Kingpin.
Yep.
John Rhys Davies. John Rhys Davies played him.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Clubby and I used to quote that all the time because I would go over to his place and knock on his door, and he would open the door and say, "What is it that you knock on my door with such insolence?"
Yeah, that's the Thor one.
Yeah, he mentioned that. Yeah, but Eric Allen Kramer, the first on-screen Thor, and he did a good job considering the script. He did a really good job.
Yeah.
If those who don't remember him or may not remember him, he was Little John in Men in Tights.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And then he was on the D.L. Hughley show. I forget what it was called, but he played the neighbor. But he was good as. I still remember.
Hey, there's Steve Mitchum.
Where?
I am looking for a man. Oh, you have found one, my spine. Yeah.
A particular man. I am
a particular man. Yeah.
He was calling Hulk a troll or whatever. It was really goofy that he and Don Blake and he was holding up the hammer and saying "Hold on," but still that guy was pretty entertaining. He was fun. That's the thing. The show was fun.
I remember that one. That was
Stanley
fun.
saying, "I remember when I created you guys."
Yeah. And there's the one, the other. Yeah, there he is with the. That's the scene where he answers the door, or on the right hand side. Yeah. Oh, I am looking for a man. You have found one. I don't like your face. You look like a rat-tailed kilt or a thieving Saxon or something along those.
Poor old Jack McGee. Yeah.
Oh, now that's cool. They put him in
They photoshopped him in the costume.
And he looks pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah.
He looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's probably Hemsworth's body, but it's his head, and he's got that kind of, and Kramer, he's got that kind of Nordic look. He's no Lou Ferrigno, but I mean,
returns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But was this this was a movie, wasn't it? Was it a special movie they
did?
It was
a TV movie, yeah.
Yeah, there were
TV
3.
movie, right?
There was going to be a 4th one with Spider-Man. It didn't happen.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Oh, there's the first. If you scroll back up again, you'll see Dick DeRock right there. There's Dick DeRock, the first Hulk, yeah.
Wow.
Played it kind of strange way, but yeah, Eric Kramer, I thought he did a really good job. He brought a lot of those lines could have been, they were slightly goofy, but he made them work. It's like if you think of the narration to the first Thor movie, and there, the realm eternal, Asgard. Nobody could have done it without you snickering, except Anthony Hopkins. Anybody else just would have been like, but he, so, and Kramer did that there, and then you have the one with Daredevil played by
Rex Smith.
Rex Smith,
yeah, of
He was-
Pirates of Penzance theme.
And then he was all that. Remember his show that lasted 8 episodes called Street Hawk?
I do not.
He made a show about a motorcycle that was called Street Hawk. That
Oh yeah, it's like it was kind of like a kit type motorcycle.
yeah, it was kind of a Knight Rider
super cycle,
wannabe,
yeah.
but it was a motorcycle.
Yep. And of course, Rex Reed. That was you were telling us about Clobbering Times. I'd read that before too, and they covered up Daredevil's eyes. It's like the whole point is to.
Well, Stan Lee said he said to him, no one knows that Daredevil's blind, right?
Yeah.
And they said, because they said, well, yeah, but he's blind. He doesn't need to have for his eyes to be showing. But he said, yeah, no one knows that though. But then they did it on Netflix too, though.
Yeah. I
Well, he's got the red. Yeah, but he's got the red. You might think that he can see through that red lenses, though, right? I mean, at least that's a cheat.
He wore not that. Before that, the whole season when he was wearing the stupid ninja outfit.
Oh, we had the ninja
I
outfit.
love that show, but I hated the ninja outfit.
Like
and that third season pissed me off. They had Bullseye in the costume too much. He should have never been in the costume. I still liked it, but it was.
I kind of like that ninja outfit. I don't know.
I don't like it. I want to see
I
a damn red
liked it
superhero costume.
I liked it as long as they eventually got to the red costume.
No, yeah, I'm with you. Look, I love that show. I just think they waited too damn long. I was like, come on, man.
And the first version of it was terrible.
Huge there, God.
Ferrigno was humongous. Yeah, he must
look
have
how big Ferrigno still is.
He must have been in his early 60s or late 50s when that,
God.
And Hemsworth looks great in the movie, but next to Ferrigno, he looks.
Look how small he looks compared to
ripped
Ferrigno.
in half. Yeah.
Just the physique. Yeah. That's amazing. Yeah.
Oh, Lou. Lou got I saw him a couple of years ago at a con, and somebody asked what his workout music was, and he said, "I've never heard music." And he was
right. Yep.
65 or something, and he got a cochlear implant this year, which makes me wonder. Those things have been around for 20 years. Why he didn't get it? And he said it's like changing his life. And he said that he can talk on the phone now, and people are commenting that his speech is getting better, and he doesn't even realize it.
So he knows what hearing is like now.
Yeah, he could hear before with 2 hearing aids. He had like 15 or 20% hearing, but he couldn't hear music. There's a lot he couldn't hear.
Wow.
I had a woman that cut my hair once, and she was deaf, and I would sign. I used to know some sign language because it was a really cute deaf girl, LSU. And so I learned some sign language. And so I was talking to her about, she had gotten the cochlear implant, and she said I had to have it turned way down because it kept freaking me out because I'd be going, "What's that?" And her son, her grown son, would say, "What?"
Wow.
And she'd say, "No, that." "I don't hear anything, Mom." "Right there." "Mom, those are birds." And it freaked her out. Every time she heard a cricket or a bird or something, she had to have it turned down so that she only heard people's voices because she couldn't make that transition.
So, wow.
Well, yeah, because if you're living in silence, so hey, Punk Waddle. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah,
the great Punk Waddle. So,
and,
as Clobby knows, I've met Ferrigno many times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he's at times he's a very, very nice guy. Sometimes he's not a nice guy. I think it's when people look at him and expect him to still be 23 years old and be 300 pounds of muscle when he's 72 or whatever he is. Same thing with
probably still can kick 99% of people's asses, but
Burt Ward. I've met Burt Ward, and he was very nice.
Yeah, he was.
But I've heard people say he was a complete a-hole, and I'll bet what happened was because he's put on a pound or 2 or 70.
Right.
And probably after all day long of people going, "You're fat and old now. What happened?" For a TV show 50 years ago, I'd probably turn into a jerk too. But I think if you catch either one of those guys at the right time. I told Ferrigno that in a way he probably saved my life because as Clobby knows, we have a lot of heart disease in my family. When the doctor asked me if my family has a history of heart disease, I say we are the history of heart disease.
Okay.
Wow.
The Mitchum family crest should be a guy clutching his chest and falling over. But Shazam got me into comics, and then when I saw the Incredible Hulk and found out that you could lift weights and get in better shape, changed my life. I went from being a fat kid who was probably, doomed to die of a heart attack, 50 or something like my dad did, to a guy who will die at, you know.
Hey, Steve, don't do that to us. Yeah.
No, man, no.
And hi, Polly's minion. Hail
Oh,
to the
hey,
pupper
Apollo.
too.
Hail
Follow
Apollo.
me.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yep. Thanks for stopping by.
Apollo comes through Vegas all the time, and we never get to do the lunch because it's always like when I have Maddie or something. And now Apollo, it would have to be on a Saturday. Is my only shot because I'm working in the office again, so I'm not free to come and go as I want.
Can't just go play the slots anytime you want, right? Yep.
Well, I have no luck. They just meet me at the parking lot, take my
Empty
wallet,
your
and
wallet.
say,
Take my wallet, please.
Yeah, don't waste our time or yours, okay? Yeah, you're welcome.
I'm too cheap of a gambler. I can't stand losing.
Yep.
Yeah.
My dad had
you,
to read those machines though. But yeah, he wouldn't have been if we lived close over there. He would. I'm sure they'd have been tracking him. He paid for it.
Snort is a fantastic quote here. I just watched a clip of the Hulk fighting the grizzly. Silly, silly, silly. The bear was holding back. We know whose side you're on. Snort.
Yeah, whose side you on?
The bear would have won, right? Vote for the bear. Actually, Winnie the Pooh, speaking of bears, is coming to the public domain this year, but only the original novel. Tigger's going to take a few more years, but not the Disney works.
I think Popeye is too, though.
Popeye is too, yep. So we'll be able to show Popeye cartoons, I guess. And
blast me down.
I'm strong steady finish because I eat me spinach cut up by the sailor man.
Oh, that explains a lot. She's a quart low.
I am.
This hammer was tiny and silly.
Yeah,
His
the hammer was
costume
too small.
The costume was horrible. The only thing that was good about this was
the fur is bad.
The
helmet's
bad.
okay.
The dialogue
Too
is
much-
bad, although too
much fur.
Yeah.
They do have the hammer symbol on the belt, which is good. But yeah, the hammers.
I give them credit because at that time, people don't remember. Before the Incredible Hulk came out, weightlifting was really looked down upon. You know, anybody that did sports in high school in the 70s or the early 80s, a lot of times they coaches told you if you lift weights, you're off the team. And people think, oh, Arnold, but the Hulk came out like 3 years, I believe, before Conan.
More than that, yeah. You mean as far as the movies and the TV
yeah,
show?
the
Hulk
TV
was
show
like
versus-
70. Yeah, Hulk was like 77 or 78,
old,
and
yeah.
Conan was 82. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah. So I think it was
Yeah.
So,
I remember fighting with my mom the first night the Hulk show was out, and I wanted, being a comic book fan, I wanted to watch it. All right, so 78. Yep, that makes sense. And I'm 9 years old and 10 years old probably, and just fighting. You can't watch it. It's a horrible show. It's horror, whatever. She had no concept. But no, Mom, it's the Incredible Hulk from the for some reason, they must have been the preview, the trailers or whatever. I wasn't allowed to watch it, but then she finally relented when it became a popular show.
Yeah, there's nothing there that's not kid friendly, really.
Yeah.
No,
November 4th, 1977. Wow. 80 episodes. Yep.
Ted Cassidy did the narration, and it was the Hulk for about a week until the director, Kenneth Johnson's kid, saw him and said, "That's not the Hulk. He doesn't have any muscles."
What did he look like in that? What was? Yeah, I could probably Google a picture of that. What was his name? Name again? It was
Ted Cassidy.
Ted
Cassidy.
Yeah.
That's Lurch.
Oh, that's Lurch, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Lurch, and of course, he was in the Star Trek episode, "What Are Little Girls Made Of?"
Yeah.
Yep. The only picture you'll probably
huge
find
guy.
of him as the Hulk is him lifting a tree out of the ground. Because that's
also-
the only shot of him that they kept.
It won up. I think before Andre the Giant, didn't he play the Sasquatch on the Bionic on 6 Million Man, the Bionic Sasquatch? I think he played.
Oh,
him
he did. Yeah, he did.
And
Yeah.
then Andre the Giant played him.
Mark, click
So
on the
is-
picture of the Hulk, the two Hulks facing each other, but right below that,
This
to the
one?
left, right below, right there. Now look, Ferrigno is 6'4". He was 6'5" in his heyday. So how tall is Dick the Rock. That guy must be a giant. Like look at the one with a standing.
The Rock was huge.
He was. I mean, look how big.
Yeah.
Because I'm 6'1", and Ferrigno dwarfs me. The Rock must be like 6'9" or something.
Massive, yeah. But that's cool trivia, yeah. It was just in the
Dark Shadow Logan points out that Ted Cassidy also did the growls, but only for the first season. When he died, they stopped using his growls and they used Claudia. Who's the guy? That don't be fair. You're as Cajun as I am. You remember when crack my knuckles and jump for joy? That actor.
Oh yeah, that was oh god, what was that guy's name? He was he was on the Way to Eden, and he was on and the Blues Brothers, and he was on everything. I liked the guy too, but I can't remember. Now I'm drawing a blank on his name. Any other given day, I would know his name easily, but I know who you're talking about. That guy talking like that. Yeah, he's God. What's that dude's name now? Shite. Well, damn. Now I can't remember his name.
What was the Joker's civilian name in the first Batman movie?
Oh, Jack Napier. Jack Napier.
Yep.
Yeah, so that was that was Charles Napier.
Charles Napier. I was going with Alan Napier. No, wrong Napier. Charles Napier.
The wrong Napier.
Yeah,
that's right.
He did the growls
Charles Napier.
After I believe the first season. Yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, because they did it for some reason, and I don't know why. Because I liked the growls that Ted Cassidy did. It sounded like a beast, like a lion or something.
Yeah. That is wild.
When you have no life, you learn these things. Yeah.
Right. Useless trivia, right? Or semi-useless.
Hey, it was useful. It was useful.
Yeah.
We ate up about 3 minutes of airtime here, so.
Yeah, it's like the Star Trek trivia game. If we ever play that someday, yeah, we'll see how useful that is.
I'm not playing any Star Trivia with Clobby. I mean, it's
Why?
like I might as well go watch Mike Tyson.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but you forget how garbage my memory is. We'll get to an easy one, and you'll jump right on it, and I'll just go and in the pinch. Hey, it's not about. It's even like I could be the fastest draw and still lose the duel because it's not always about who's fastest. Yeah,
I'm so bad at names too, like naming the names of the episodes or characters. Or
I can't. Yeah, I'm that way. I can name like the Trouble with Tribbles and Piece of the Action.
I know one you could name.
What?
Stepping out to Eden. Brother. I'm going to snap my fingers and jump for joy. Got a clean bill of health from Dr. McCoy.
That episode was paradise, my God.
Oh,
Shadow
boy.
Shadow of the Gun was the name of the one with
Spectre of the Gun, actually, yeah.
Spectre of the Gun. That's right.
That's right.
I think Shadow of the Gun was actually it's a comic book. I don't remember which one.
I don't know. Could be.
Shadow of the Gun. I don't think it was Avengers. One of the early comic books that I bought was called Shadow of the episode, for lack of a better, it was called Shadow.
Let's get together and have some fun. We don't want to do it, but it's got to be done. Oh, sorry. There's a lot of music in that dumb episode.
We reach, brother.
We reach.
Philbo.
I am not Herbert.
Hey, Philbo. I love the name Philbo Baggins. That's
Yeah.
We reach.
That's great. That makes me think of That makes me think of the Nimoy song every time. Philbo Baggins.
Philbo Baggins. Yeah.
Philbo Baggins was the bravest little hobbit of all.
God, I love that Hobbit movie. So why don't we go run the animated movie? The animated, sorry. Yeah, when I think Hobbit movie, my brain only registers the animated.
You don't want to think
the Rankin Bass one?
Rankin Bass, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that movie, yeah. That's so awesome.
Richard Boone did the voice of the dragon or something in that one?
You're correct, he did. Or Smaug. Or Smog. Or, yeah, he did.
Yeah, the great Richard Boone, I should say. That's because he is Paladin. Praise be his name.
Yeah, the animated. That as a kid, that was one of the first books you would remember reading, or especially if you're into D&D or fantasy, or you'd read The Hobbit. It was an easy read as a kid, and then that TV show made it even that more accessible. The animated movie, I should say. Was that released in theaters, or was that actually made for TV?
Which one?
The Hobbit. I can't
The
remember
Hobbit.
now.
The
I'm not
Hobbit was
sure.
made
TV.
for the Hobbit was made for TV,
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
and the Lord of the Rings, which was pretty much the first two 1.5 books of the Lord of the Rings, was theatrical, and that was by
Was that Rob Bakshi doing that one?
Bakshi, right?
Yeah.
Who did the second season of the Spider-Man cartoon from the '60s?
That's right. And
You
of
can
course, he
tell
also. Good.
Go ahead. I was just saying, you tell when the backgrounds start getting really weird and abstract.
Well,
That's Bakshi.
yeah. He also did the 80s show, The New Adventures of Mighty Mouse, which was a great show, and it got canceled because it was too way out there for kids' audiences. It was just nutty.
Yeah, they
And
didn't
they
like
got in trouble.
they didn't like the way he reached into his own pants to pull out his costume
But there was this
sniffing
preacher.
a flower.
Yeah, sniffing a flower, and it looked like he got high, and this preacher named Donald Wildman got all over him about it.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff back then. Yeah. Now, but weren't there? What was the movie that had Frodo of the Nine Fingers and the Ring of Doom? Was that the Two Towers animated, or which there were a bunch of animated
saw
movies?
that one.
You never saw that one? The song with
I think so.
Frodo the Nine Fingers and the Ring of Doom.
Not
Yeah.
me. Dadman?
I
You
don't
know what he's
know.
talking about?
I'm not familiar with those animated shows. I didn't realize they had made animated versions of those.
Yeah,
The-
but I can't remember that song. So that
The
was Return of
Backstreet
the
Lord of the
King.
Rings, movie was in some ways really good. I mean, it was heavily rotoscoped, so they shot a live action movie and it traced over it.
Yeah.
But the way the atmosphere that they created was really creepy and scary, especially for animation.
Well, I only know about the theatrical releases of any of those, so I'm lost. When I
Peter
didn't
Jackson.
yeah, the Peter Jackson.
Snortopoopas-
Yeah,
Right.
Snortopoopas says that was Rankin Bass again. And also,
Well, that's
Phil
Rankin
Lowe
Bass
says
here.
it's Rankin Bass doing Return of the King.
Let me share that with the van, but I'll just play like 2 seconds of it, just so. And because my singing is so horrible, but let's see if this. If you hear this, yeah.
Frodo of the Nine Fingers and the Ring of Doom.
So you guys don't remember that one?
I have never heard this before. It escaped me. Yeah. Yeah, there's Gollum who looks like a toad. Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, it's Return of the King animated. I'm trying to remember which. Maybe that was the. Yeah, so that's this. Oh, it was a TV movie. It was TV movie. Okay.
If it was Rankin and Bass, it was TV. I don't think they ever did anything for theatrical release.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's. Yeah, because that's the same character designs as the Hobbit. Then, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that I remember that as a kid. That was a fun movie. Yeah. So yeah, and Frodo the Nine Fingers, we'd always sing that as a joke. Yep. And Punk Waddle says he knows it. Yep. And Philbo knows it. Yep.
I guess it's
Jeez,
just
I've seen.
Columbia and Dadman that don't know it.
God, I stumped you guys.
Nope.
That's unbelievable.
I don't know.
That's. I can't believe that.
I mean, I
that
know
actually
of it,
happened.
but I think I've seen pictures of this, but I don't think I ever watched it. So I know of it, I guess.
Well, you
Maybe
may
I've
have
seen
seen
those pictures, but no, I don't know.
you may have seen these pictures from The Hobbit because
Okay.
that
Could be.
one was more
Yeah.
There you go.
more well known, and it's the same character designs. And all that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a complete new area for me. I never knew about the animation, the content.
Yeah, it looks familiar, but yeah.
Inconceivable.
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 In the horn. I don't think it means what you think it means.
You know, he said that. So I asked him about how he likes being the most quotable movie ever. He said, "Everybody else has all these lines to choose from. I only get one word. People come up to me in the street and go, inconceivable." I'm like, and I'm like, no, there are lots of great lines. It's not your fault that people know that there's never going against the Sicilian when death is on the line.
That's a good one, Steve. I give that an A+.
Well done, Steve.
Oh, thank you.
Excellent. Well done, sir.
I'm no Clobby, but I can do a few.
Oh, you're way better than me. That was fantastic, man.
I got a standing
That was good.
ovation.
That was great.
My Christopher Lloyd is an impression of Clobby doing Christopher Lloyd, and I got a standing ovation in a room that must have been 500 people, but Christopher Lloyd didn't like it.
Oh,
He was like, "Stop
he's the
that!"
worst. Was he
So
kidding?
it's actually-
He was
he's a
kidding,
nice
you know,
guy.
of course, right? Yeah.
Probably. He's actually a really nice guy.
Yeah.
I actually have a unique item. I got Andreas de Haab, one of the Disney animators that animated Roger Rabbit, drew me a Roger Rabbit,
Wow.
and I have no. I don't have what's the name of the guy that does the voice of Roger Rabbit, Bobby?
Charles Fleischer.
Fleischer. Yeah, I can see his face. But I do have it signed by Christopher Lloyd.
Nice.
Going up on the wall when I buy a house, or if I get this house that I'm trying to buy. Yeah, so one of a kind item. Nobody else has one.
Excellent. Wow, that's cool.
So that's kind of cool.
You sure?
Yes, I'm trying. Yeah, sequel. So I guess that was totally separate. You know, from. So they had the Hobbit TV special, and then they had the Lord of the Rings. Yeah, there were two movies, if I'm right, weren't they? They had this one, or was it just the one movie?
I thought there were two.
No,
I thought there were two too, right?
There was just one.
Oh.
They only had Saul Zaentz was able to get the rights to the first two books because they were doing a third one. I think the third one was for television. I think
Okay, so that's why we got
Rankin and Bass had
that was all right. So there was the Hobbit, then the Lord of the Rings movie, and then as they're saying here, there was no sequel, even though it made money, and then they made that so planned sequels.
Yeah, Philbo confirms what I said. Yeah, made
Thank
for
you,
TV
Philbo, yeah.
by Rankin Bass. Yeah, because so the rights were basically sold for, it's like why they weren't able to do Spider-Man and Venom in the same. Tim talk.
Hey Tim.
Hey Tim Stalk, what's up, bud?
How's it going, buddy?
Evening.
So I'm just usually you try to figure out these things, and it's great having the internet to let you know what what existed and what was there. But those were fun. I just remember the songs in this movie, so I guess that's why they were saying the Lord of the Rings movie animated had no songs in it. So, but as a kid, as growing up, that was one of our jokes. We'd start singing that Frodo of the Nine Fingers and the Ring of Doom. It was like an inside joke. We'd always make mention of people, or
The theatrical Lord of the Rings movie the atmosphere was really, really good. It was when they're hiding under the tree and one of the ring wraiths is coming after them. I think it's scarier than in the trilogy that came out in 2000, 2003. They did some really good stuff. It's got the Ralph Bakshi sort of signature where they have like backgrounds of just a wash of. They took two different colors of watercolor and put them on a wet paper and then bleed in together like you have in Spider-Man, the 60s Spider-Man cartoon.
Just have a random background. Yep.
Yeah, but there was a lot of good stuff in it too. Come back to Mordor, we will take you. And the voices were good and creepy, and the music was scary.
Was that a Christopher Lloyd doing?
Go ahead, Clobby. Wait. Let me set you up. Let me set you up, Clobby. Are you trying to tell me this sucker is nuclear?
No, this sucker's electrical. But we need enough power to generate 121 gigawatts. Future boy.
Future boy.
I can't. I got
Ronald Reagan, the actor.
What they say, if it's not one thing, it soon will be. Sorry, Reverend King.
Yeah. But I just watched that on. I was mentioning last week. I just got the 4K set for Christmas on Back to the Future. So I've been watching all the the special features, and they said Reagan was watching it in the White House because I think the first one came out in 84, 85. What was it? 85. So he was still in office. Yeah, so he was still in office. So he told the projectionist in the White House to rewind the film. Well, actually, back then you had to. It's not easy to rewind film because you got to pull it out and go back and the machine. So
And
he said he was laughing so hard.
The bulb out too, because if you stop the film up,
you melt it.
Yeah, it'll melt. Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So he so he asked he was laughing so hard when he heard that line, and he's like, and actually one of the Reagan, I think, wrote a note in return, like one of the producers or something wrote a note, and he said, "Oh, it was so nice to be in a movie and not have someone bash me for a change," But he took it with good humor in terms of being an actor and
right,
that whole line, like, what, an actor's going to be president, the actor. What are
it was kind
me?
of a swipe at him, but it was
for good natured swipe though. Yeah, it was a fun. Yeah, like because one of the movies in the billboard is, I think, a Reagan movie on the billboard in the town. So I think one of them was the Atomic Kid or something too, or another billboard they had up. But it's your kids, Marty. Your kids, is Phil's saying. Yeah.
Snorty could never.
But great movies. Yeah.
I can tell you what a gigawatt is, Snorty. It's a watt that is cut into a puzzle. That's really intricate. That's what a gigawatt is.
And actually, he mentions Googling. He mentions Googling in the movie too. And you rewind it, he's like talking about power or energy or something. It's like he says, you'd have to go. It's a Googleplex or whatever. He uses the term Google in the movie in terms of relative to numbers.
Google is a number.
Yeah.
Google.
So he uses that.
That's a billion, I think. But don't.
Yeah. You'd need like a Google. Whatever the line. I'm butchering the line, but. Actually, you just said Google. That Snort said, humans are so clever. And then Ted Danson's wife is in part 3, which I love too.
Mary Steenburgen.
Yeah, she's perfect for that role as the geek / nerd.
I like 2 better than 3, but I do like 3 though. Yeah.
I like 3 better. I thought 2 got too goofy in some spots in the beginning.
I like the It's a Wonderful Life feel to it.
Well, the end, like the ending, I thought the last third, final third were much better, but we can debate that one. But yeah, I just thought
not necessary. I like them both.
Yeah, no. But I thought they were very. It was very goofy on that first part of part 2, and of course, then they had the problem of having, as the director said, they never planned a sequel, so they would have never had Jennifer in the car with them. So they had to fit that. So they basically knocked her out for most of part 2, until she wakes up, and then the cop drops her off at her house. But they didn't know what to do with her.
Dadman, I think Dadman said he's dropping out.
Oh, Dadman.
Dadman.
Hey, Dadman. Before you drop out, we're not going to go on for too much longer. Not to put you on the spot, but name since the end of the year.
Yeah,
name.
I just have to take care of something real quick. I'll be back in a few minutes.
Okay. Well, we're not going to go on for too much longer, but maybe we'll go around the horn and pick a couple of good things for the year that they liked in IP, I think, and genre entertainment that were some of the favorite things that came out this year, I guess. I should let you guys know this ahead of time, but put you on the spot. But I already have two are going to be pretty easy to go with, but I don't know, maybe clobbering times if you want to give a few things you thought were good this year that came out.
Well, basically the 3 things we were talking about already, as far as if you talk about just things that good that came out. I mean, there wasn't much until the end of the year when we got, really enjoyed Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
of course. Really, really enjoyed Spidey, and then of course it came out at it was last year. It was 21. Yep. So Cobra Kai. Those 3 things. I'm hard pressed to think of anything. Let's see. I only saw about 4 freaking movies last year.
Right.
And I saw the movie Nobody. I like that. That was pretty good. That was okay. That was Nobody. It's just to bring up something else other than what we were talking about. Nobody was really interesting because I've watched the John Wick films and I kind of like Keanu, but those movies always leave me kind of cold. I mean, they're okay, but they come to the same old crap and monotonous after a while. Nobody's almost the same premise, but it's a John Wick movie with a brain. It's just so, and of course Christopher Lloyd is in it. That helps. So
Yeah, right. Yeah,
he's
that's true, right?
fantastic,
Yep,
by the
yep.
way. It's oh, why I'm in this movie. I can't, never mind. But he's great in it. This movie is it's John Wick with substance.
Yep.
So, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was a surprise how good that was. It's just an enjoyable, romp. Yep. So that was good. And John Wick, I like the first John Wick more than the sequels are fun in their own way. They kind of create their own universe, but they kind of go off the rails with all.
Even in the first one, though, the 15th time he just shoots somebody in the face or, kicks. It's like he's just invulnerable.
He's like a super duper man. Yeah.
And the car foo they call it, where they're having like that's kind of funny after a while, but it's like watching a video game.
Yeah, yeah. But don't kill his dog. Yeah, I love the reaction.
Yeah,
it's a little bit
overreaction.
Yeah, you killed whose dog? Yeah.
Everything about Nobody is what's wrong with John Wick, because in John Wick, the guy, his motivation, I thought it was kind of funny at first when I had it recommended to me, practically shoved at me by my son, and I thought, that's kind of funny. He's this ex hitman guy who's really just he was the boogeyman. He's badass, and he's doing this because they killed his dog and all that stuff because his now deceased wife gave him the dog. It was cute. It was an interesting idea, and I like Keanu and all that stuff. And after a while, I'm like, this is like watching a video game. You can't really be hurt. It's just hyper violence. It's when you have a movie that doesn't really have any great characters, but it's had some okay stuff in it, it wears a little thin. But I watched all three of them. Saw 2 and 3 in the theater, whereas Nobody comes along and it's the very similar concept, but you have an actual character in it. You have actual writing in this one. It's a huge difference.
Yeah, the first one was more of a, I thought it hit some better notes, and then when he's, digging up the guns and things, and then the second and third one, it's almost like you said, it's like arcade game fantasies or the computer fantasy.
There are video games.
Yeah, where it's,
and he's fighting for a lot more in Nobody than Keanu is in John Wick.
But Reeves did give him credit as a great actor, and God, if you've seen some of those training videos on how he learns how to use the weapons,
I love him. Yeah, he's great.
Oh no, I know you're saying that, but just if anyone, you can Google that on YouTube, and just he's amazing. Like he knows like those scenes with those weapons, he knows what he's doing, and he trains with them for hours, and all the stuff he does with the shotguns. And I have a couple of friends who are quote unquote gun nuts or gun enthusiasts. We'll say nuts is a term of endearment. We tease each other, but the guys know he knows what he's doing. He puts himself into the role. I know people don't like Tom Cruise, but at least he goes 120% into that into the role, and he's quote unquote believable, or his physicality is there at least when he's doing his action.
At 60 years old.
Short though.
Yeah, other than being short, yeah, but he can't change that. That we know of, right? Yeah.
Captain James C. Skywalker just hit on my lowest point of the year. The Snyder Cut trash.
So Clobby wouldn't add that on his list. So the great Steve Mitchum, what would you pick as a lot of it? I'm sure it'll be the same thing going around the horn. But what would you pick as good stuff for the year?
I didn't really see anything this year, though. I saw one movie, and it's the only movie that I've seen since Endgame. I was going to go see, as you know, Shang-Chi, but Clobby hated it so much, and I'm such a cheapskate when it comes to my movie. So the only thing I've seen is Spider-Man, and I loved it. I can't say everything about it because there's a lot of gaping plot holes that you drive a truck through. It was like, let's do this, Yep. But as far as I think it was definitely Andrew Garfield's best acting I've ever seen. I'm not saying he's not a good actor, but he was really good at that, and he got really good lines in that.
Yes,
Toby, and I won't spoil anything, but what Toby does at the end with Spider-Man, which from the British kid Tom Holland, I thought that was really good.
Yeah,
the web fluid discussions, the internal dialogue that was externalized about Yeah, you are good enough. You're amazing. I'm a loser. You're not a loser. I thought that was really clever because they took that internal dialogue in Spider-Man and added word balloons, that we all have. Saying, why can't I be more like Clobby? And they
like the guy from who was against Saturday Night Live, the senator that you're so smart, I'm so smart. Stuart Stuart Smalley. Yeah,
Stuart Smalley. Yeah,
I was waiting for him to do that.
I'm good enough. I'm smart enough.
And
people like me.
Yeah.
Charlie
was
the Charlie Cox cameo was really nice.
Yep. That was awesome.
I wanted to see more of him.
Me too.
Yeah.
The spider sense failed many times. You may have noticed.
That was one of my nitpicks I was watching tonight. I was thinking the spider sense should, like when the lizard grabs him, it's like
there's a lot of spider sense stuff going on there.
Spider sense not consistent. Yep.
But I did, and Ned Leeds. Leeds is not a Filipino name. And funny, the guy saw it with his Filipino. Everybody in Nevada is Filipinos. Tagalog is the second most spoken language in the state. And so when the mother was talking, my friend was laughing.
Could you understand what the mom was saying then, or
he said he couldn't? But then again, my question to him was, "Then why'd you laugh?" Or maybe she just.
Does it seem like the grandmother knew Toby for some reason? That wave that she gave to Tobey Maguire.
I don't know.
It seemed like, but it wasn't subtitled. So unless you, I got a couple of Filipino friends. I should ask them what to translate for me when it comes out on DVD. Yep.
I only have one Filipino friend who actually speaks, but there are several Filipino languages. Like
so it could be.
My ex's grandmother spoke Ilocano, not Tagalog. So, but I have
different dialects. Yeah.
I actually have a friend I work with who's from the Philippines, so you wouldn't know it to hear him because he's mastered his perfect American accent. But he was an animator on Anastasia, Treasure Planet, and Spirit Stallion of the Cimarron, among other things. So I'm and he's got some of the original drawings from those movies.
Nice.
So I'm gonna get him to autograph one for Maddie, so she'll be proud of her, Filipino half. But that's all I have was Spider-Man. That's the only thing I've seen.
You've been busy with Maddie. Yep.
Well, and because she was a preemie, and you're when you're a preemie,
you can't go out.
Yeah, you're a preemie until you're 2, and then with the COVID, the whole 9 yards.
Don't want to risk anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So this was the first time I said I'm gonna go see this. And it was great. Dadman, have you seen it?
Yeah.
You saw it 3 times. You said, yeah.
I saw it twice. I'm kind of meh overall on the movie itself, but I did like some of the acting in it. Garfield obviously was great, but Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin, I think embodied that character and the insanity. I really liked him in that, and I mentioned Alfred Molina also earlier. So, but other than that, Ghostbusters Afterlife I thought was a great movie. A throwback. It hit the nail on the head. Now this is where we can get something stirred up. Maybe I actually went with Mark on this one with Shang-Chi. I actually liked the movie. I thought it was pretty well done. Separating the actor and his outside comments from everything else, the movie itself, we really, really liked. And of course, my wife really loved the guy when he showed his abs. So, I got popcorn. So
Are you sure he had abs? Sorry.
What she saw, she liked. So whatever.
This is Dadman's here. Yep.
As long as she's happy, I'm okay. I benefit.
Let's see what she types in the chat window.
Yeah.
So, Dadman, your New Year's resolution is to do 50 sit-ups every day to get some awesome abs.
I need to get back into the gym, but I can do it. Listen to Clobby on Monday and Wednesday nights, and when he's doing a show, I can go. Yes.
Well, that's what Herschel Walker said he would work out when he was watching TV at night. He would do push-ups and sit-ups whenever the commercials came on.
Oh, yeah. And
he'd be even more shape today with all the commercials they have.
Yeah, he did have abs. So she's still there. Now, this one, I will come up with something new with this. I don't know if y'all are familiar with the Purge franchise, but I really liked the movie, The Purge. I can't remember what it's
I know
Purge
of them.
It's
Yeah,
the
no,
one that came. It's the one that came out this year, which normally I would not have liked, and I feared. I had certain reasons to be hesitant with it. Crunches and planks, yeah. All right, yeah. She can keep me on that at the gym. I'm no. So, but it was unlike a lot of the other Purge movies where there was just chaos and just shooting at times. Not trying to spoil it, but it really had a plot. It had a way, and the characters were not annoying. The characters were well written. You could relate to them, things like that. You feared it would be heavy-handed political, but it was a good movie overall. I really was entertained by it, and I can't remember. It's Purge something, but it was the one that came out in 20.
Yeah, what was it? Purge because there've been a bunch of Purge movies. Yep.
Yeah, it's
There's
like
the one that got banned for a while or something because it was quote unquote against conservatives or
The Hunt.
Oh, that was the
Purge
Hunt.
the Hunt.
That was the Hunt.
Yep.
That was another one which became watch something for yourself. But the Purge.
Let's see. Well, there's the Forever Purge. Well, the Purge.
That's it.
Purge Anarchy.
Forever Purge. The one
The Forever Purge. Okay, that one. That one you
It
thought was
was
the best.
really. It was unlike a lot of the others where it focused on the night itself, and it became. They put a good twist on it, and like I said, without trying to spoil too much, the characters were well written. It seemed somewhat realistic with some of it to a degree. I don't think certain things could have actually happened, but I'm willing to. You go to a movie, you have to suspend reality at some point to some things, but it surprised me as a movie.
Yeah.
So
they're saying it's inspired by Star Trek, the original series, Return of the Archons.
Yeah, people have said that before.
They put that in Wikipedia. Of course, it's Wikipedia, but
I mean, it's possible.
I guess. But
It's
did they pay
similar
Star
to
Trek?
it. I mean,
Yeah.
no, they probably just said they just inspired them. I guess I've heard some people say that before. I've never watched the Purge movies, and
yeah,
guess I've seen the first one.
this one was probably the best of all of them that I've
Oh,
seen.
I'm gonna watch it then. I think I trust the dad man. So
I know that makes me nervous.
Doomcock raid.
Hey,
Now I have a machine gun. Hey,
Mark,
Canadian
I love that
Spider-Man.
name. When we're playing Fortnite, and I get down and grab that machine gun. I've been saying that lately.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yep. And only seen the first 3 Purges. They're all enjoyable. Yep. I thought they were good. Yeah.
The fourth
then,
one was a little bit weak, and the fourth one was a little bit weaker to me, but I got through it. But this one was not like the others. This was almost you could have called it something else, and it could stand alone on its own. So.
Yeah. So Jill, the Purge.
hey,
movie.
Jill.
Hell, thanks for stopping by. Yep.
Hail, Jill.
So we've been raided by Doomcock viewers. This is
Right.
awesome. Yep.
Hey,
Well, we got-
Doomcock.
Got us leftovers. Just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Just
Just kidding. No. Yeah.
And I think Polly
No,
had
wait,
some
we're
channel
the
about the
leftovers.
movie earlier this year or earlier in 2021 too.
What happened? What'd you say?
About the Forever Purge. I think Polly had some stuff on his channels
His
about.
channel
Yeah,
about
he
it, too.
did. I
Okay.
think he talked about it. Yeah.
No, that's interesting. Yep. And any other stuff you'd recommend for this year, Dad Man? Or that's a good pick, though.
Not
Good
to come out,
recommendation.
come out new this year, except
Yeah,
like I said, I think Clobby for get me on this Green Lantern animated series.
Oh, cool. Yeah, dude, I'm glad.
It was pretty good.
Oh, the missus is headed out, so we're only going to go for a few more minutes, but don't keep Dad Man up too late.
Yeah, I gotta get back to the real
We got to play
world.
Fortnite for 3 hours after this. Yeah, we all got to get to work tomorrow. Yep. But so I'll give my so I agree with everyone. Obviously, we like Cobra Kai, love Spider-Man. I did like Shang-Chi, even though it's not the comic book character, but I did have a good time at the movie. And I think that was the first movie back since I'd gone to see some Star Wars crap movie that I hated. So it's back to the theater for the first time. Got my popcorn and Reese's Pieces, which I shouldn't be eating, but those were good. And Black Widow was I liked it, but it should have been 5-6 years ago. Taskmaster was a screw up,
Yeah.
but I had fun in the movie theater too. I thought for what it wasn't it wasn't as bad, I thought, as people were saying. What else was? Of course, Cobra Kai, like we said, was awesome. Comic book wise, I don't think there was anything really good comic book wise. I've been disappointed by The Thing, and we're trying to stay positive.
Yeah.
The Thing limited series has been disappointing. I guess the
Very
last
disappointing.
Ronin I've bought but I haven't read yet. I've heard that was good on the comic book side. Superman 78 I've heard is good. I've got all these things on my nightstand to read, and the Batman series I've been trying to read that. 78, the Batman, 89. Trying to think of what else would I say that was good this year. Of course, hanging out with you guys, that's been awesome. So I'll give everyone an A+ here for what's been good. Like watching Clobberin' Times, Saturday Night Star Trek got me involved with this group and community. So that's been, if I'm going to review the year, that's been fantastic. And making, having you guys as friends now and hanging out all together, actually doing my own channel. I remember being so damn nervous the first time. Am I really going to do this? This is crazy. What? I'm actually going to press the button to go live. What are you, nuts? And I did that. If you can see the Kong in the back, the Kong figure, that was my first video. So I was trying to open the box and I couldn't get the box open, and I'm trying to. Like, oh god, I should have prepped this out, or gotten a better like pre-open the box. Like, who's gonna watch this video? But no, it's been great to meet everyone. And yeah, Annie Driven Jill says, yeah, Saturday Night Star Trek. So that's been, hey, we're making our own media now, right? So that's been fantastic to watch.
Hey, Mark, let me say that real quick. That Saturday Night Star Trek has been an awesome thing.
Oh, you're too kind. Thank you.
Because look, I'm
All except for the host.
the Star Wars snob,
Thank you.
but getting into that, and you and Raquel, the way y'all carry the show and love everybody and let people have opinions. I mean, that to me it's exposing me to a new area, new genre that before I wouldn't have done, and that's awesome. So it's not new in 2021, but it's new to us. So
Yep,
Well, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. You too.
that's been awesome. Yep.
I thought. Go ahead,
man.
Bobby.
No, please go ahead.
No, I was just going to say my answer was I thought when you asked the original question, I thought you meant in terms of movies or television.
No, you're right, Steve. But then
Clearly
my
you
brain,
guys-
I know. I ran out of, my brain wasn't working, so I ran out of good things. So I said, "Hey, wait, I'm thinking about it." I'm like,
well,
hey,
and it's still hard because coming even off shutdowns and stuff. I'm still confusing 2020 with 2021 because there's stuff that I did
merged
see
together.
in 2020 because I was in a part of country that either really never closed or opened early. Because there's movies from 2020 that I could throw out there, but it's 2021.
Plus, I'm the host, so I can cheat.
Yeah.
So I will amend my answer to also agree with Mark. Meeting all of you guys, several of you I consider to be friends. I mean, Clobby's the only one I've actually physically met, back in the 90s. But but yeah, doing the stream, being invited on graciously onto your stream, and Star Trek Saturday Night got me through, divorce, pretty horrible divorce, and what I consider to be a pretty horrible betrayal. Maddie and Saturday Night Star Trek got me through that. So meeting all you guys, Captain James T. Skywalker, who has always said the kindest things about Maddie, and of course Stuart Mitchell is a great guy. We got Andy Terrific, Jill. I could go on and on. Canadian Spider-Man, all these great people. So I think that is definitely the number one thing. And the Spider-Man movie was number two.
Appreciate that, Steve. Yeah, that's good. That's good to hear. Yeah, it's been
Same
great
here,
meeting
man.
you. So
Same here.
And I have
Eric
ideas for shows, by the way. I have ideas for shows.
You
Yes.
have ideas for shows. Good. Yep.
Gonna need them. I'm gonna need idea. I hate
Yep.
a lot of times I don't have an idea for a show. They're
Well,
just gonna
well,
wing it. So.
I've got some that I don't think anybody's thought of that do not involve animation.
Oh,
Well,
good.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
And of course, some of them do.
Some do, hopefully. Yeah.
Yep. So let's see. Any other shows this year? Well, I guess. I'm trying to think. 2021. So I guess. I'm trying to think of what else came out in 2021. Yeah, you're always back ended towards the tail end of the year. It's like for the Oscars, they always release stuff at the
But the
December.
new Boba Fett come out technically
Yeah,
in
Boba Fett.
2021?
Yeah, so I guess
Yeah,
I gave that a 3 out of a 4. I gave it like a B so far, but let's see where it
It's
goes.
only one episode, but
It's one episode, so
yeah, that's all right.
it's not. I mean, if we'd gotten this kind of, and actually was the Mandalorian, did that end in, was that out in 2021 or was
No,
Luke?
it ended in December of
December, right?
last year.
So it was we didn't get any Mandalorian this year. Yep. So I thought that that last episode, not getting into whatever the casting problems that happened after, but yeah, it's been but I'm watching YouTube all the time and playing Fortnite. It's been a lot of fun. That's one of the best things, playing with Dad Man and the gang and hanging out there. That's been a lot of fun.
I told Steve we'd put him on a clock.
Yeah.
He could join. We put him on a clock. That's when we cut off because you've had to send me to bed too before.
Yep. Oh, and Afterlife, Jill. Yep, Jill's right. Yeah, of course, Afterlife. I forgot to mention that, and my popcorn. Clobby mentioned that, and the gang mentioned that, but and my popcorn holder too. My Ecto One popcorn. That's been a lot of fun too. So, but yeah, that was a great movie. So we do still get some new good genre entertainment, and of course, like Toxic Tuesday hanging out. Yeah. Now we have a machine gun. Ho ho ho! Yeah, so we
Nice.
reviewing the movies on Tuesday night with Nick and the gang, and Cobby's been there for some of those. Have been a lot of fun. So yeah, it's been some been tough times I think for the last few years.
Bad year for comics though. Woo.
Bad year for. I'm trying to think of what
Comics are garbage.
stack of
I
comics.
haven't bought a comic book in so long.
We got Superman
Well,
78.
you're better off, man. I mean, they are just straight up trash right now.
I'd
I
say
gotta read that.
the worst thing that happened to me this year was also this stream because every week I have to look at all of Mark's collectibles and posters and toys and
Yeah.
it's like
Sorry.
it's just cruel. It's just heartless and cruel.
Well, I did actually, and I got to go on Nerdrotic Live today, which was fun with a member stream. So I did get to meet Gary, which was awesome. And they're okay. Thank
Gary's
you for
a good
the Toyman shout out. And so I'm not going to put my other camera on, but I did. The Enterprise has found its dock. It's
Nice.
dock. So I got the new Playmobil Enterprise up on the stand. I'm hoping that
Sitting on the
hook
dock
holds.
of the bay.
I think I hit the wood. So we got
You
that.
said wood.
I think I hit the stud.
I don't think he meant it quite that way, guys.
Yeah, you know what I meant.
Oh,
If you don't want to put that, you don't want to put that in the just in the plaster, right? You want that. You want
Use
that to.
Sorry.
So yeah, enjoy sharing that stuff. So
Man,
One
I
show-
both love and hate Mark at the same time.
Hey, we got to have a show where Clobby is Beavis or Butthead, and I'm the other one. Which one do you like better? Which one do you like better?
Well,
oh yeah,
go ahead, sorry.
no, sorry, it was Matthew. Do you read? We'll talk about that real quick. But what Matthew was talking
Oh
about. yeah.
God.
Oh God, just
Sorry.
Oh my goodness.
is that the one that I keep seeing referenced on Twitter?
Yes.
Oh God,
Holy shit.
I just don't even. It's
Oh my goodness. That's
if what they
disgusting.
say is true, it disturbs me beyond just.
DC Comics, degenerate comics.
It truly
How-
is.
How would
They could-
Superman? Did they were using a red sun on him, or what were they doing? How were they depowering him so that could happen?
Why would you do that in a Superman comic?
No, I'm
I mean,
just saying.
you
But
know,
how would that even happen to
Yeah,
Superman?
I know. It's
Yeah.
just revolting.
What
Why
a
do we have-
revolting
Yeah, I'm
development
sure
that
there's
is?
all plot
Does the
device.
superhero have to be destroyed?
Well,
Why?
there's plenty of plot devices that weaken Superman, but that's just you have to do that kind of crap.
Yeah. Because if he's so average like any of us, then where's the superhero in him? I don't know.
Gentlemen, I am going to have to call it a night here
Yes.
because
came in?
even though we're off tomorrow. Oh, we have four.
The ship's
Steves.
lit. I lit the ship up. Oh, we got 4 Steves too, right?
Because we have Kal-El,
Steve's the Steve's.
who's another Steve M, and we have Canadian
Hello.
Spider-Man, and I've heard a rumor that Captain James T. Skywalker is also a Steve.
I don't know if he's a Steve or not. Is he?
Now, somebody said that. I thought it was anti-derivative Jill, but don't quote me on that part because I'm older than dirt.
You know what I got to do? I got to clip that Raquel singing "These Are the Steves I Know," because you know he's singing that, so I could just play it.
I don't think we've ever had
list.
4. Although Captain James can confirm or deny if he's a Steve. But before I go though, you guys have heard of Elf on a Shelf?
Yeah.
For 2022, my prediction it's going to be. Oh, and Director Jill said yes. Captain James T. Skywalker is a Steve.
That's right.
So, no wonder he's such a cool guy. You've heard of Elf on a Shelf. I predict the big thing for 2022 is going to be a Clobby in a lobby.
Clobby in a lobby.
Clobby in the lobby. Yeah.
There we go. Are you going to animate that for us?
Only if a Hungry Boy does the character design.
Nice.
That's a guy I would like to do a stream with. He's very knowledgeable.
Yeah, he knows his stuff. Yep, he's got a channel too. Yep.
I'll get him on eventually.
I'll bet he's a great artist because he talks about art in big picture, not specifically just comic book art. The best artists have a broad.
He worked for DC, and he's told me because he can't really say he has told me that I would know who he is if I gave me some more clues. I nailed it down to DC, and he admitted it, but he can't really say apparently.
Well, I guess
one day I'll get him to tell me in private.
But I guess he can't say.
It's fun having the clues because I'm like, wow, some of the things he says. He sent me a couple of examples of his art, but that doesn't really tell me anything because it's nothing. It's not old stuff. It's some things he just did recently. But he did work for DC though.
I got to know.
He seems like a great guy. He always has kind words, and he has a broad depth of knowledge of art in general. And
he's amazing.
He drew that thing.
Club Oni.
Yeah,
Club Oni.
And he drew it in
George Perez fashion.
Perez's style. Yeah. So.
If you're out there, Hungry Boy, dude,
there it is.
Shout out to you, buddy.
Yep. So, and with that, Hungry Boy is Eric K says Hungry Boy is Stanley.
See, yes, he's an inker on Ostrander's books. I mean, like Suicide Squad, you mean? Or Legends? Sorry, go ahead, Steve.
I was going to say,
or Spectre.
Eric K said Hungry Boy is Stan Lee. See, I'm thinking that Hungry Boy could be Steve Ditko, because if anybody was going to fake his own death to get away from the fans, it'd be Steve Ditko. And with that note, gentlemen, and
later, bro.
Anti-derivative Jill, I believe was the only lady who joined us tonight, except for
Courtney was here earlier.
Courtney was here earlier for a minute.
And Lovely Sherry.
Lovely Sherry was here.
That's right, and also Apollo, I believe, was here for.
Yep.
She was here for a while.
Okay.
She may have
Apollo.
So
there you go.
Clubby, did you ever get the that artwork she was making for you?
Not yet, but I'll watch for it.
That's beautiful. I've seen it on.
I have
Instagram.
seen it. It's amazing.
She does phenomenal work. So, which is not a hint to have you do me one if you're still listening.
No, I'm just I'm speechless. Yep. It is lovely though. It's wonderful.
Great work. Yep, very talented.
Yeah. So, and with that, gentlemen, I am going to call it a night. I know you're not far behind me, but
yep. Nope.
All right,
appreciate you being here, Steve.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure.
Have a great day tomorrow. Yep.
And so I'm looking over to other monitor where I have all the chat. That's why I'm doing this.
Yeah,
you guys can tell.
Waving to the chat. Yeah,
it's like pointing to the screen. Hey, Mark, what's this thing over here?
What's that over there?
Yeah. All right. Thanks, y'all. So much.
Later, Greg. Later, buddy.
Take care, Steve. Awesome. Yeah, if anyone else in the chat wants to put, Jill gave us a couple of good
real quick. Free Guy. Had you seen Free Guy, Mark?
I haven't seen Free Guy, but I hear that that's good from a lot of people.
Like that, and especially Mrs. Dadman really flipped out laughing during the movie because she got, like she says, Fortnite is the first video game of that type she's ever played in her life. So when they started doing references that she got, it really made it a lot of fun for her.
Great,
so
great.
You definitely
we're always looking for movies to watch with the family too. So so I'll write that one down and remember that one. But yeah, if anyone wants to put in a couple other suggestions before we sign off.
Throwbacks to other franchises too. I'll stop there, but it was really a cute movie overall.
Yeah, because he's stuck in a video game, right? Kind of Tron-esque, I guess, but not
Well-
really that close. But not not like Tron, but just he's a video game character,
Yeah,
I guess,
right,
which you know
correct.
from the trailer. Yep.
Right, exactly.
So, he's supposed to be an NPC who doesn't have any
Yeah. And
any,
they got
any free will, right? Yep.
it's really cool. I think Clubby might like it too. At least give it a shot.
If I ever
Especially
see it,
for
get a chance, I will. I don't have many
Especially-
venues,
Yep.
but yeah.
Especially even for some of the throwbacks to other franchises. It's really funny.
Cool. I will.
Was
give
that
it a
on
chance.
HBO Max or I'm not sure.
I'm not sure where it is right now. We saw
Yeah.
that in the theater. Oh
Yeah. So, but yeah, so there was still some good stuff from 2021. So, but why don't we say our goodbyes and promote anything we got coming from the week? Dadman's gonna have 1,000 kills in Fortnite. No,
Oh.
just kidding, Dadman.
I don't know. I got a lot of overtime that's coming this month, so it's going to be interesting. So
It's a
we'll
busy
see what
night
happens.
for her. Yep.
it'll be a busy month, but we'll get a few kills. So
Yep.
I appear, like I said, and you've seen me over at Amanda Gillen Presents between
Yep.
Tuesday to Friday, various times. I usually put the things out on Twitter between Fortnite and a podcast and Dead by Daylight. And then I think Ang and I we're trying to set our schedule for the coming year, working around what days and times, looking like Fridays, but
Yep.
yeah, we were playing some new games tonight to kind of get tests on that a little bit.
So there's Ang's Twitch channel. Everyone should sub to that. And then
Yes.
here's your Twitter, which I'm sure you don't mind having that up there
It's out there.
to show that. Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, and thank you all. Thanks everybody for being here, and thanks Mark. And
Thanks for
Claudia
being here, bro. Appreciate you,
opening
man.
the door for someone like me to come in and.
Oh, it's great to
spend
have
time with
you,
guys.
buddy. Yep. It's been awesome. Yep.
Great,
And
man.
I wanted to.
Oh, hey, I got to say one thing though, Mark. Always keep the 55 in the dad man walking,
Oh yeah. Yep.
because I saw the other day somebody retweeted something with a dad man walking space DADMAN space
Yep.
walking and a capital D capital W. I'd heard they existed, but I saw it the other day for
Yep.
one. That's why Ann
Gotta
came
be
up
careful.
with 55.
Yeah. So that's your Twitter. Yep. Dadman
Yep.
Walking 55. Yep.
Yeah, there you go.
And big shout out to Mr. Angel. So he set up a Discord for me. So
Hey, there you go.
if anyone's into Discord or uses Discord, we can chat and share photos and pictures and cool stuff there. So thank you for that, Mr. Angel. Did above and beyond. I know he's in another time zone. It's pretty late or / early for him right now. So he's not here, but he's a huge fan of Saturday Night Star Trek and been great to hang out with, and really talented chef. And so he set that up for me so we can join that Discord. That'd be awesome. And you can talk to Mr. Angel is not on Twitter. He's just on Discord. So that's a fun spot to meet and talk to people. So thanks for that, Mr. Angel, if you're watching this on a replay. And then Clobbering Times, you've got a lot of stuff going on this week, I'm sure.
Well, yeah, Monday night I will be back with Monday Night Mark C Comics Talk, and I will do I'll count down my 100 favorite comic book heroes comics book and strips, I should say. Heroes, I'll count them down visually. Then a little look at some comic art there, of course. And not sure about Wednesday. It'll be something. I may just do an open hawk thing. I will see. Hopefully, got the spinner rack videos coming out this week, starting for 1972, and then Saturday Night Star Trek returns next Saturday night.
Finally, yep. Awesome.
Yeah, buddy.
Looking forward to that. It's been
Me
2
too.
weeks off. Yeah, God, what did
Yeah,
I
we're
do
back.
these last few Saturday nights? God. Oh, it was New Year's one night. That's right. Yeah.
We're back, man.
Yep. So that'll be great. Yep. And we'll see most of the gang there, I'm sure. I think the communications officer, Jill, will be there, I'm sure. So
I hope
yep.
so.
Good.
Jill.
Everyone else in the chat hanging out. So looking forward to that. So this coming week, I think I'm going to review that the Playmobil Enterprise this week. I've also I'm behind in my video, so I got to do a build video for this guy. Put this together. My daughter got me. And then Raquel had gotten me this a while ago for my birthday. She reminded me. So I got
my.
to maybe try to make that on camera, see how that goes. Do a video putting that together. It's one of those holding Metal Earth videos. So yep, we'll be on the Clubhouse Thursday night, and I'm looking forward to it. And again, yeah, it's been great, having you guys as friends and hanging out, and really made a big difference. So want to give shout out to Eric K, great bronze silver surfer,
Bronze wrencher.
bronze wrencher, yep, has been a great friend, and always appreciate him keeping things safe on the chat end. And God, we had a great gang of people hanging out with us tonight. So using my rusty memory and looking at the chat, so we had Snortopupus was with us, the great polar bear. Thanks to Steve Mitchum for being here. Catman was here. Captain James T. Skywalker. Lovely Sherry was here. Matthew Pounder. Let's see who else was here. We had Mrs. Dadman, of course, your better half was here.
Hey, Mrs. Man.
Yep. Which is great to have her here. And we're not keeping you up too late tonight. Of course, Canadian Spider-Man, aka Now I Have a Machine Gun, ho ho ho.
Canadian Spidey.
And actually, Philbo, I'd looked up your Monarch Comics as well, correct? I think this is the link to Monarch Comics. So everyone check.
What's that?
Philbo's you can tell me if I'm wrong, Phil, but I think you had a Kickstarter for a comic. I think that has passed, but Philbo's involved with the Monarch Comics, but I could be wrong. But Small Time Republic, Dark Shadow Logan, so that's part of the comic book cabal. Matthew Pounder, I think I said Captain James T. Skywalker. Apollo's Minion was here, and Courtney, hail to Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs, and Courtney started streaming again. So everyone check out Courtney's channel. I got to get her linked into my show notes so I could put her channel up. But it was awesome as usual. And thank you to Clobberin Times, of course, as well, before I forget that. But you've been a great friend, and really appreciate
Thank you, bud.
hanging out with you, talking with you. And sometimes after we get off of the streams, we start talking for an hour after the stream. Buddy. So we have so much fun hanging out. So and that's why we do the Thursday night show. It's just us hanging out. And then Philbo's saying, that's him. So yeah, check out Monarch Comics. We want to support those indie or small creators. So that's great. And Jill, the communications officer, has episodes listed. So for next week. So everyone do your homework, watch those episodes. Get ready for some fun times in the chat and a good hangout. Get your ramen and ale ready, and we'll have a good time on Saturday night. So
is that with season 5?
This is what season? Where's TNG season 4?
Okay.
4 still, getting towards the end getting towards the end. Yep.
Yeah.
But it's been another great night. Can't believe we hit show number 20, which is awesome. So that's pretty cool. And why don't I play a couple of these? We got to do Wesley one more time, right? We got to just do the bye Wesley. You gotta have that. So
yes.
you gotta play that. But
I love it.
And then I'm gonna put this. Say thanks for watching here. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll play the Blues Brothers to get us going. And Happy New Year, everyone. Have a great year coming up in 2022. Thanks for watching.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.